and then I will enter in the information for the podcast. Yeah, this will be episode 15. Let me look down.
I guess so, yeah. I'm flying in space. I'm not at my computer. Do that later.
I'm not in yet. I'm just loading the game now.
Get out of the way, son. Let's scan stuff over there.
And the date is the 13th of June. And this will be in the Let's Discuss playlist.
Starting today, 7 p.m.
Yep. And space, so we're going to talk about stars. We might as well talk about constellations and things. I won't quiz you. I wonder if we should retitle the Let's Discuss Space podcast.
No.
But no. No! Okay. We've come too far.
They have all week to think of that. Then as soon as we start, like, maybe we should name it something true. Nope, already started.
I've been thinking about it for a while, though.
Like, already printed the signs.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm just like...
Well, bring it up then. Not during the podcast.
Like, should we, during this podcast, should we decide... Should we call it the Let's Discuss Space podcast? Should we change the title of the podcast 15 episodes in? Is it too late to, you know?
Oh, I'm assuming that's not like a serious question.
It would change things, so then it'd be Let's Discuss Space Stars. So I guess it would be kind of dumb. Because then the podcast would be Let's Discuss Space Stars. You know what I mean? The episode title would have been. So maybe it works just to be...
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Let's Discuss Space Alien Colonization. Yeah, it wouldn't exactly work with it. The irony that I'm older than you, but your character looks older than me in the graphic isn't lost on me all of a sudden. Okay, I have 29 jumps to go.
I have 52. I'm at the center.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm far away from the center. Alright, so... to get started, we'll wait for people to file in. We just have me here for now. I'm sorry. Oh, no, Buddy Bud's here. Hey, Buddy Bud.
You said that you not started yet? I thought you said you were starting it.
I am started, but that doesn't mean automatically people are here, you know? They need to
hear the magic. Yeah, but usually when you start like a radio show, you start talking about stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, we can start talking about stuff and things. Sometimes it starts and we're just in the midst of, a little banter, like, oh, we didn't see you there. We were just happening to be talking about things and stuff, and then, like, you ease into it.
I think of renaming the podcast for no reason.
Hey there. I didn't see you there. Oh. So, the subject, I should put the topic up there. Sorry, guys. I'm going to put the topic and pin it. Topic, stars. What are it? Okay. It sounds small, but it's not. It's pretty big deal. So, I got it. I should have loaded up the Bradlac controller thingy so that I can actually. I don't even know. What is my damage on my ship right now?
Did you
Ooh,
forget how to Elite Dangerous?
what?
Did you forget how to Elite Dangerous?
Yeah, I forget every time because I'm only doing it once a week. I should be doing. I'll be doing it every week. I'll do it for the space podcast.
Yeah, but
I'll do it for
that'd be
the.
like if you stop playing GTA for a week and you're like, wait, which one's gas and which one's brake? How do I
You
get out of
have
my car?
how many
It's
hours again do you have on Elite Dangerous?
muscle memory.
How many hours do you have on Elite Dangerous, sir?
I don't know. I can't look when I'm playing.
Yeah, thousands. I only have 400, right? So like, there's that to keep in mind. There's that. Like my stats, and by
I
the way,
only have
this
hundreds of hours playing a game. How do you expect me to remember?
I only have no,
I've only literally done it thousands of times.
I only have 4 weeks and 5 days and 5 hours in this game.
Anyway, you probably should have the controller setup open somewhere. Or at
It
least
is
like
open.
bookmarked,
It's open now. It's open. It's open.
favorited,
I
printed, and
just
next to your TV or something.
I should print it out, put it on my wall. Yeah. Here we go. So we're going to talk about stars, which I'm excited about because then I can talk about Joni Mitchell at some point. Not really her, but that song Woodstock. Because I'm not insane, and it wasn't a lie. I'm kind of happy about that. So I would love us to start with like the basic. This song is Woodstock. We are stardust, we are golden, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden. Lyrics.
Oh.
Intro to stars. What are they, says Buddy Bud. Exactly. What is a star, Brad? What is a star?
Are
Tell me
we talking like super highly technical or like ELI5 kind of?
Just start
It's like
now.
it's like a giant nuclear bomb that's constantly exploding in space.
Nuclear fusion, right? Like a fusion factory?
It's basically the fusion, a sustained fusion reaction.
Sustained fusion reaction.
It's fusing hydrogen into helium.
Hydrogen and helium.
And as it does so, it releases a lot of energy and light. Toasty warm stuff.
Ah, shit, I already dropped out of a frame shift drive. Look. How did I do the space radio question now? I'm sorry, that was on me. Okay, well, how about you tell me the life cycle of a star? Because I'm curious. Like, there's a life cycle to it, right? And does it apply to every star? Or is the star just... They all have a different life cycle?
Yeah.
Well,
different
lifespan. Well, they have different lifespans, but what do they start out as, and what do they become?
Well, we touched on that when we were talking about like solar system.
Well, let's touch it again.
So the solar system. Yeah, I know. I'm just mentioning it. The solar system starts as a giant cloud of dust and gas, and gravity coalesces it all together. The center of which is the star, and then the planets form around that.
Our sun is a star.
So basically, primordial gas that kind of like silt in a river. It'll collect in certain places, just like in space it collects in certain places where there's gravity and stuff to keep it together. It'll eventually create a heavy enough grouping of it to self-ignite its own gravity.
I'm just now going at a white star. Just so you know, I'm fuel scooping a white star. And it is in that "Oh, Be a Fine Girl, Kiss Me." It would be in the middle. It's not the hottest or the coldest star, right? Somewhere near the middle.
And, white is typically A or F.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, A.
Mnemonic. O be a fine girl, kiss me is O be a F GKM is the main sequence of stars in the order from
Hottest to
Hottest
coolest?
to coldest, yes.
Yeah, I
So
learned
O
that too.
stars, typically like bluish white,
Hmm.
5 or 6,000 degrees Kelvin.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Is that really hot?
our sun is about 3,500 or 4,000, I think.
It's a G star. I learned that today. I know you said it in a previous podcast, but I didn't really listen. But I learned our sun is a G star, right? Am I right? Am I
Yeah,
right?
that's
Yay! I learned that.
G2.
What do you mean G2? There's different levels?
Yeah, like it's broken down into like first there's the letter that basically tells you the color, which will tell you the
Uh-huh.
temperature roughly,
Uh-huh.
and then there's like a numeric scale, so 0 to 9. It's
You,
like okay, so a G1 is cooler than a G9 because after G9 comes F1 or F0. Sorry.
what's like a G6? There's a song called Like a G6. I wonder if they're
Yeah.
talking about
I
stars.
I think they're talking about Pontiacs, not
Yeah,
main
but
sequence stars.
what if they were secretly talking about stars? Is there a G6
Yeah,
in stars? What if they secretly all along weren't talking about a car and they were talking about like a G6? What would a G6 star be like?
it would be a little bit warmer than the sun.
Then that's still pretty fucking hot.
Yeah,
What if secretly all along we were wrong about that song and it's really about stars and the guy was like a big nerd that wrote it?
I highly doubt it.
Look, let me imagine, okay? Imagination station. Okay. Well, anyway, that's too bad. But we could interpret it. I mean, some science show nerd could make up a song with new lyrics for like a G6 and make it about stars, couldn't they? I'm not high. I'm just saying it's true, right? You know how like
Anyone can
um
make a song about whatever they want. Technically, yeah, I guess.
would that be a song that they could really turn
But
into
it's
something?
a super niche, nerdy thing that no one would understand.
No, no,
And
no.
so it's
There's
kind
a
of pointed
yeah,
out. I'm
yeah.
not talking about the other song. I'm talking about space. Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, but that'd be displayed in the lyrics, I think, because more of the lyrics would be about space. Anyway, off topic. Um, please go on about stars. I'm curious.
Well, what next?
What next? Coffee is next. Um, hmm, there's so many things I have down here. All right, like I didn't want to go down this list. I wanted to let it flow. I don't want to be
Well,
like,
you asked me about like the life cycle, and then
yeah.
kind of
What I wrote
ricochet over
down
that
was
really quickly.
ProStar, main sequence, red giant, super giant, white dwarf, neutron star, and black hole. And I was like, what?
Okay, so what are you asking?
What is that?
That's
How is that a life
that's
cycle of a star? And
that's
is that
that's its
inevitable
life
for
cycle.
every single star?
That's its main sequence. Yeah, that's its life cycle broken down into the stages. So
So,
protostar is that like ball of
oh,
gas while it's still coalescing and heating up to trigger fusion.
mhm,
Main sequence is most of its life, like the sun is doing right now.
mhm,
Hey, I made it to stardom, and I'm a giant ball of gas and exploding fire and heating up my solar system.
mhm.
And I'll do that for tens of millions, if not billions of years, maybe even longer than that, if I'm
Because it's
closer
not
to
too
the
large.
end part.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
that's saying that's like, oh, the brightest stars burn the shortest. Like that's true.
The
So,
biggest stars, yeah, the
all
big, and our star isn't that
no,
as big as we think. It's
no, it's
not that big a
brightest
star.
stars. Brightest stars.
And heaviest stars. It's not just the brightest stars. From what I saw, am I wrong? Is it what would I write? Something like
I thought you were asking me a question.
I was asking you a question, but there's something about stars about how the short-lived massive ones, O and B, and then M, the tiniest ones are the long-livest. Did you? That's what I learned. I learned that.
But M is also the coolest of the main sequence. And O and B are the hottest. So that's what does it. There's quite a few stars that will turn into M types because that's what the red giant phase does.
Now all stars will become red giants, will they? Or is that just the sequence that will happen inevitably?
Most of them in the main sequence, yeah, because as they run out of fuel, the gravity can't hold all the gas, and it'll expand and become like a less dense star, and it'll cool down because that's what density does.
By the way, I just came into a two-star system, so a binary star system, right? And actually, I've learned today that is not unusual, that in fact our galaxy, right, with like, oh, I've been pressing the button the whole time. Our galaxy with one sun is actually kind of weird. It's not usual to have a solo sun. Usually stars, especially even within our solar system, they're binary. And what's the other stuff?
You get your terms mixed up.
Well, whatever they are, there's more. Like, there's more of them, usually. And it's weird for our sun to be all alone. Something like, most stars come in pairs. 2/3 of stars in our galaxy are binary or multi-binary. Our sun is solo, though. What did I get mixed up? Tell me.
Solar system and galaxy. You got mixed up.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, that thing. I'm stuck in camera mode. How do I get the fuck out of that? Oh, there we go. So that's kind of neat. I never knew that. It's kind of rare that our sun is single, alone, without another sun around it. Like, that near it?
From what we've observed.
You mean you think there might be a little tiny sun near it?
No, I mean the whole... Well, most of what we've seen are multi-star systems. So yeah, the science and the numbers suggest that
shit, I did it again.
The kind of single sun system is rare.
That's kind of weird. Why? I wonder why we're that way. Why we have a single sun and it's not even a big sun, and just why it happened that way. I wonder. Because why is it? Why do we not have a double sun? I wonder why. You know what I mean? If it's so, it's rare. It's a rare thing.
Not enough gas in the protostar stage to make two stars.
And yet it's still sustaining all this life. That's interesting. Okay, I have a question. What is the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram about? What is that? What is it about? What is it for? I have no idea. I haven't seen it, and I'd love it if you found it and put it in the part of the space podcast thingy, the thing, because I don't know what it is. But it's apparently important in connection to the star. And I didn't want to spoil it and see an image for it without knowing what it's about. I want to be able to ask you about it. So that's why I wrote it down on my page, like my pages here. Because I was curious. I was like, why is this guy what does that have to do with freaking star cycle or whatever? I need to know about that. Or whatever the hell it is. Because I'm curious. Like a cat. That's why they call me Whiskus. Do you know what it is? Have you heard of it?
Absolutely. I basically have it memorized. It's kind of like the periodic table of stars. It tells you almost everything you need to know.
Then I knew it was important. Thank you. And you'll share that? You'll share that with us?
Yeah,
after your coffee?
Set the computer up.
Okay. See, we're on it. We're on it. Okay, I'm glad I threw that at you because I'm looking forward to seeing that because I am curious about that. So it's like a periodic table of elements, but for stars?
Well, not so much that. It's just
not
that
like a table. It's really important. Okay, well, I'm glad I noted it because it looked important, but I didn't know the image or see it, and I didn't look it up. I just knew that
it looked important, but you didn't look at it.
Well, because I wanted to ask you about it. if I looked up everything and learned everything on my own before the podcast, then I wouldn't have much to ask you because I'd just be telling everybody how smart I am with what I learned, and nobody wants to hear that.
And
They
then you
want to
know
hear how
stuff.
smart. Yeah, well, sometimes I like to
You
be
can look at
surprised.
something and still not totally understand it and still talk about it. Just spoiler alert.
Yeah, I just didn't want any spoilers. I want to be able to go look at it when you put it in the thing and be like, "Ooh, look at that! It's something."
I gotta open Discord on my PC and installing 17 updates again because it's Discord on PC and that's all it ever does.
Yeah, it does that. Well, no, actually, now more my computer, the iMac doesn't like. It's just like your computer's too old. We don't care. My laptop will update it though every time. Well, while you're doing that, I want to ask about Beetlejuice. We've heard about it. Beetlejuice, we've talked about it before, but I didn't really pay attention. Apparently, it could go supernova. It's in our solar system, right? Isn't it? Or in our galaxy? It's in our fucking galaxy, right? Beetlejuice?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is this thing? It's not going supernova in our lifetime, though? What is the deal about Beetlejuice?
You could have done it already. It's 600 light years away.
600 years. Wait, what does that mean?
It means something could happen right now, and it would take 600 years for the light from it to get to us, so then we know what's happening.
Oh, so it is already happening, is what the theory is. Is that it?
No.
No? But
if it happened right now, it would take 600 years for us to find out.
So it doesn't really matter. Why is it made into a big deal then? I mean, it's 600 years from now. Who cares? What's the big deal about Beetlejuice?
I don't know how to respond to that.
Well, if it is, was it ever a big deal to you? Did you learn about it?
Yeah, it's kind of like one of the basic things to learn about because it's.
Well, then,
so
will you
us.
tell me about it? Tell me about it then, because I don't understand what the big deal is. I want to know. But you're working on one thing, so I can wait till the other thing if you want, so I don't overwhelm you. Oh, I'm gonna see the image. Okay. Okay, that's it. This is the image.
You can see Beetlejuice in it.
Oh,
That's an example of a Hertzsprung-Russell diagram.
Okay, and it even did the stars in the color classification. Why does it say Kelvin stellar classification, but it doesn't say the name of that, what was that guy? Hertzsprung-Russell diagram. Is this what it is?
Yes.
In the Discord there.
It's basically just a graph between luminosity and temperature. But temperature also coincides with its stellar classification.
So the white dwarfs are the coolest? Is that it? They're the hottest.
Coolest goes to the right. Hottest goes to the left. And the brightest goes to the top. And the dimmest go to the bottom.
This looks like a bunch of yellow dots.
Luminosity is a measure of...
Oh. No.
They all look yellow? There's like...
No, yellow, white, blue. No, but I mean, why? The graph doesn't make a... Okay, so luminosity goes up.
What doesn't make sense about the graph then?
So luminosity is the ones that are up there high, but they're bigger. And the small things are at the bottom.
Yeah.
So...
Imagine like a bonfire compared to a candle. They might be the same color, but one's way brighter. Because it's fucking huge.
So does the color of the star not determine the size of the star? They can be any size?
Yes.
Because they could be at any point in their life cycle. Wait, but so you mean a star could start... Okay, so could a white star start out tiny and become big because it's built up all that stuff in it? Can our star change its size, or is it just going to get smaller or explode?
It'll stay yellow for billions of years, and then as it runs out of fuel, it'll turn into a red giant.
Do all stars turn into red giants?
Most of the main sequence do, yeah.
Why?
because that's a dynamic of how they exist in nuclear fusion and gas pressure and all that stuff.
So the color of the star doesn't, it determines, I mean, it's a reflection of how hot or cold it is, but it doesn't tell you
Yes.
how big or small it'll be. That's variable. Is that what you're saying?
It's a mix of both. Okay, so you're looking at the diagram, there's like a trail that leads from the far left, close to the top, that very bluish one.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a little river of stars through the word main sequence, and it trickles down to very tiny red dots in the lower right corner.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole river is the main sequence, but the main sequence of O types are very hot and very bright, and the main sequence of red stars are very small and very dim. Because
And
red
red
is
stars
a colder
are about
temperature
to-
than blue.
And isn't it the red ones are the ones that are going to be closest to dying out, right?
No.
No? Oh.
Red dwarfs actually live for an incredibly long time.
Oh.
And
No.
blue giants and blue main sequence stars live
Oh,
for
the
incredibly
fat
short
stars.
time.
Yeah, the biggest massive stars died the soonest. Yeah. Now, yeah. Okay. I'm just learning this stuff, guys. I don't know this stuff. I didn't.
And then white dwarfs in the bottom are after the giant and supergiant stage.
Mhm.
When they have a nova, not a supernova, because that's the whole star like destroying itself, but a nova is kind of like its midlife crisis, and it's aging and it's running out of fuel, and it basically has a burst that
Well,
sheds
I'm
a
a
lot of its
nova.
gas off. Okay, chill out.
Go on.
So it sheds off a lot of its mass and energy in this explosion, but the star isn't totally destroyed, and what's left collapses into a white dwarf.
Okay.
Whereas a supernova will collapse into a black hole or a neutron star.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a
Okay.
different,
So
more energetic explosion.
there is a black hole end sequence for some stars. Then. Okay. Can you explain that again? How some might become black hole and some won't?
It has to do with the amount of mass. So you need a significant amount of mass to collapse into a black hole, otherwise it'll collapse into a white dwarf.
So the big
So-
ones that die the soonest might become black holes.
They're more likely to, yeah. So blue and like Rigel up there, like kind of top middle in the supergiant, that's more likely to collapse into a black hole or neutron star than Antares, for example.
Do we have any in our system that could collapse into black holes?
What do you mean by system?
In
Like our solar system?
galaxy. In our galaxy, I guess.
The galaxy is made up of 400 billion stars, so
So
yes.
likely. But in our solar system, no.
There's only the sun in our solar system.
And our solar system isn't that big.
The local
It's kind
group
of
is
fair
like
to
our
middle in.
neighborhood, where there's about 10 or 11 stars, and I don't think any of them are large enough for that. Sirius might be the closest
The
contender,
dog
but it's
star?
still not large enough. Yeah,
It's one
and
of
if
the
you're on a clear
depths.
enough night, you can actually see these colors. Like Betelgeuse is very obviously red in the night sky. Regulus is very obviously orangey red in the night sky.
I have seen stars seem like that, a different color, I guess.
Yeah,
It's just been a long time. Hey, Malcolm Hepburn. Welcome
but it's the
to
same as if you're ever buying light bulbs. And you turn the box around, and it's like, what do you mean color temperature? What the fuck are you talking about? It's a light bulb, right? Who gives a shit? But the color temperature on a light bulb is exactly the same physics as how stars of different colors are different temperatures.
And I remember you saying this, and I know you're telling me again, but it'll make more sense to me now that I'm learning about stars. So I
So
wouldn't
like,
mind
you
hearing
could
that
almost
again.
use the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram as a color temperature chart for light bulbs. It's not exactly the same, but it's analogous.
Who uses light bulbs anymore? They're so passe. For real
But
though.
Some people prefer, they're called daylight, and they're like 5K bulbs, so it's 5,000 Kelvin, which is like a bluer white kind of light. And then some people want a warmer,
Soft.
softer, cooler white.
What would the equivalent of that star be then?
Warm white is closer to
The sun?
2,500 to 3,000.
The sun then.
Closer to that end of the spectrum, yeah. Cool white's in the middle.
Very interesting. So,
But yeah, ultimately the luminosity is more related to their lifespan.
and I learned something. Can I say something?
Yeah.
And the light that comes from them, like as I'm feeling this, is from the core. But they don't actually. Okay, wait. Where was the note I put? Stars don't twinkle because. Okay. Wait. Where's the light? Okay, wait. Stars shine. Wait, this is on page 5. Stars shine from its. Oh my God, my writing. Its own smashing hydrogen atoms together to make helium, releasing energy.
Yep, that's nuclear fusion.
Via nuclear fusion. This makes the stars shine, and they don't twinkle. We just think that because of the atmosphere of it going through our atmosphere.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's kind of
so-
like watching something like you're watching a reflection in a pond, for example, but there's ripples in it. You know, the object isn't all ripply, that's the water doing that. So just like the atmosphere makes it look like stars are twinkling.
That makes okay. But they do shine, and that shine comes from within. Oh, that's so fucking poetic. Anyway, sorry. From the nuclear fusion within is what makes the stars shine. Is that it? So the light comes from within them, guys. Sorry.
I mean, all that cheesy shit is basically based on science.
Real.
That's
Yeah. When your star shines from within, it's like a real star. Oh man, that's kind of cool. I'm just saying. Oh, I found a water world. It's been mapped. Oh, that's kind of neat. I mean, oh, I found another water world. Oh shit. Oh no. It's 2 water worlds. What am I supposed to do with that? Okay.
Actually, I should have posted a different picture.
Yeah, because that one doesn't even say the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram. You can post another one if you want with it, please. Another one would be great.
I saw other ones with more information, but they were worse picture quality, so that was like, yes, there it is.
These are what's going in the Discord, guys, in the Let's Discuss section. I'm just gonna let you guys know that I'm gonna share the link in the chat. If you guys want to check under the Let's Discuss part of the, I'm gonna share the link. The Ono Discord. You'll be able to see the images he's sharing under the Let's Discuss podcast, which we're on our 15th episode right now.
It's been erased.
No, why? You're gonna put another one. You'll be able to see the next one then. It's fine. There's still gonna be images there by the time if anybody goes to it. But yeah. What happened to my? Oh, I never did that. I should pin that. Alright, so for some reason I put pulsars and neutron stars. I was curious about that.
Those are weird ones.
Yeah. Like I wanna get weird. I wanna know what that's about.
So which one do you want to talk about first? Because they're totally different.
The first one, I guess.
Which one was that?
Pulsars? No, neutrons. Yeah, pulsars.
So pulsars are named because it was literally like a scientist or an astronomer was looking up at stars and they saw one that was pulsating. Or
what? Like literally pulsating, like beating like a heart.
It's not so much literally, but that's what they saw when they looked at the star. Kind of like
maybe the guy was high.
Flashing. Oh. Maybe.
Do pulsars? Are they still seen that way? Are they still evidently seen in that way? Pulsars? Oh,
I think you hear fighter jets outside.
yeah. I was like, I hear something. I'm not sure what. I was like, well,
So pulsars are relatives of neutron stars.
mhm.
They're like they're kind of like a type of neutron star. And you've seen them in Elite Dangerous, right? Where they have like
Yeah, with the
jets of
light.
energy flying around the north and south poles of the star.
Yeah.
They're basically so powerful and energetic they spew out huge amounts of like plasma off of their north and south poles because magnetism will. That's where they will go because of magnetism. It doesn't just radiate out in all directions. But pulsars are named that because the north or south pole is aimed at Earth while it's rotating, so it's kind of like a lighthouse where we see this beam flash towards us and then it gets dimmer. And as it rotates, it comes back and gets brighter again, then gets dimmer.
Hmm.
So kind of like how a lighthouse's light will look like it's flashing from really far away. Once you get close, you're like, oh no, it's spinning around. I totally get it now. That's basically what pulsars are doing at like towards the Earth.
Funtime Claw says, "Aren't stars very far away?" And I can I answer, and then Brad answers. Brad's smarter, and he can clarify. I from what I read, and I only wrote 3 pages because I didn't have as much time because I kind of delayed everything by stupidly racing for a bit. But the stars we see in the sky, I learned a couple things. Number one, most of them aren't dead. If we see the ones we see are not dead, that's a myth. 2, yes, of course they're all far away, but the ones we see aren't as far away as like the ones we talk about that are very far away. Yeah, of course they're far away, but they're still within our system. So as far as I don't know. You go on about that,
No.
Brett, but there was something. Wait. What did I actually write that wasn't stupid? Let me see. Oh, I want to talk about the stars that leave the galaxy, rogue stars. But anyway, okay. What about the stars that aren't far away? Let me look. Some stars. Let me look.
First thing,
Some
you're mixing
stars
up system and galaxy a lot again.
I know. Well, I'm stupid. That happens. What about the stars?
Okay, well, to clarify, one is like a neighborhood within a much larger region, like a country, and getting them mixed up is like
Terrible.
walking around the country is different than walking around the neighborhood.
Oh.
Or visiting your friend a few houses away is different than flying across the country to a
Who
different
visits
city.
friends anymore? Well,
People
then
that go
tell me-
outside.
Oh, okay. With neutron stars, says Buddy Bug, can you please talk a bit about quark stars?
Oh, that's another good weird one. Yep.
We'll
get
talk
there.
about. Oh, well, are we there yet? Are we going to neutron stars after pulsars?
I thought you were literally looking something up to check.
No, I'm not. I didn't see anything. I don't know what I was talking about. That they weren't far away. I guess. I don't know.
You were literally talking about how far away stars are. 'Cause that's
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I didn't find my notes. A light that you see is usually a galaxy with stars and planets, says Ronaldo. There you go. Ronaldo said a light that you see usually is a galaxy with stars and planets. Well, do you have an answer to what I was rambling about? To Funtime Claws, aren't stars very far away? Because I don't know.
I mean, first of all, like, kind of everything's far away in space, if you think about it. Everything's really, really far away.
Okay.
Most of the stars you see, it's kind of like a catch-22, because there's plenty of small red dwarf stars, but because they're small and not very bright, it's really hard to see them.
Mhm.
So there are dozens and dozens and hundreds of them within our stellar neighborhood, but they're outshined by stars that are a little further away, but way brighter than them.
Bigger, brighter, yeah.
Like when you look up at the night sky, like all the constellations are basically asterisms of brighter stars because they're much easier to identify. And as technology advanced, yeah, we found way more stars, but we needed that technology to be able to see them because they're not as bright. I think the human eye can see to... I'm rusty with this, I can't remember. Something like the 6th magnitude or something like that? Or maybe like the... Okay, I can't remember.
You might have to look old, man. Sorry. Okay. I called him old. I'm older than him. I'm sorry. Well, we get to hear aggressive typing. That's
Okay.
great.
Faint stars visible to the naked eye under optimal conditions have a magnitude of about 6.5. There, I was.
You were
pretty-
off by 0.5. Oh, you're slipping.
But a lot of stars, a lot of prominent stars that you can like have names, like Sirius, Procyon, Regulus, all of those have negative magnitude because it's a logarithmic thing. And anyway, like it's almost like golf, where the lower the number is, the brighter it is.
Ronaldo says, yeah, when a planet crests around a star, you know because of a dimming of the star's light.
Yeah, that's true, but different than what we're talking about. Like luminosity, that's how we detect planets around stars. It's called the transit method.
There you go.
It's like someone walking in front of headlights on the other side of a parking lot. You're like, wait, that light got dimmer. Like, is the star doing something weird, or is something there?
There you go.
And if we watch the star for a long enough time, we find that cyclic pattern of its orbit, where it's like, no, this is. It's not the star's doing something funky. There's something orbiting it, and through that frequency, we can kind of guess at, it's either orbiting close really fast, or that kind of stuff.
That's fantastic.
But there's still guesses. We're still guessing, though. We'd have to physically go there and prove it, or have much more better.
So get
like,
going,
optics.
Ronaldo. Get going up there and prove it, man. Oh, yeah,
No, he's right.
They're right too. Yeah. Let's get to the stars already. Buddy Bud's thing about quark stars. Are we getting to quark stars after more pulsars and neutron stars? Can we get to quarks after? Or are we close?
Yeah, it's definitely.
Are we on the way? Are we there yet?
Fuck, calm down. I'm still trying to look for a decent principal Ruxodon where I'm, and you're asking me like 6 different questions. So
I know.
one question, we'll talk about it, and then we can move on to the next question.
Okay, sorry. Then hold, please. Oh, I can't wait to talk about stellar deaths a little bit more. While we're waiting for him to do what he's doing, what do you guys
think? Just pick a question. And we'll
oh,
go through
well, we were still on
questions.
pulsars and neutron stars and quarks.
No,
With
we're on
neutron stars,
those.
can you please talk a bit about quark stars? Well, what are we at then? Are we still on pulsars? Because I'm over the pulsars. I don't care. So now are we on neutron stars?
It's hard to talk about stuff if you don't care about it. Just say.
Well, I care, but I want to get to quark stars. I'm curious about quark. It's not in my list, so I'm curious. Do we go from... What about neutron stars, then? Are we on neutron stars?
Like, sure, I guess.
What more did you have to say about pulsars? What more is there to say about pulsars? They emit those rays of light. Well,
they're basically a neutron star lighthouse, then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's a neutron star?
Exactly. What's a neutron star? Compliment the person you're hosting. He got upset, Ronaldo says. No, that's just Brad. That's how Brad sounds. What do I compliment him on? Brad, you're a very fine person. Is that okay? Did that make you feel better, Ronaldo? I have to compliment you, I'm sorry.
Anyway, yeah, so neutron stars are basically what's left of a supernova.
Uh-huh.
So a large star like Betelgeuse or Rigel, after it burns off all of its hydrogen into helium and there's nothing left, and then sheds all of it in a supernova, it's a catastrophic explosion. Because gravity has... like a star's life is a lot of basically radiation pressure from the fusion going on versus gravity. Gravity's trying to crush it, the radiation pressure's trying to blow it apart.
Gravity's gonna win.
Eventually gravity wins. Gravity always wins.
Yeah, I can't
So
wait
after
till
the star
gravity-
burns off all of its matter, like a fire that consumes all of its, like whatever it's burning to be a fire,
Mhm.
gravity eventually wins that battle and crushes everything else, and because of its huge mass, because it was a large star, it crushes it so completely into a supernova that it basically rebounds off of the core and blows everything else apart. What's left has been compressed into like just neutrons.
And what are neutrons?
Neutrons are neutral particles, like how an electron is a negatively charged particle, and a proton is a positively charged particle. Neutrons don't have an electric charge.
They're in the middle. They don't have they're neutral. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So electromagnetism basically won't affect them. But it's incredibly dense because it's been crushed by the supernova's collapse.
Hey, old virgin, good to see you again.
It's crazily energetic.
So what's a neutron star just do? But before I get to that, Ronaldo said, thank you. Hi, Brad. They turn blue. And he put a heart.
They do. That's right.
What, neutron stars turn blue? Oh, look at you being all smart, Ronaldo. You just made Brad happy. See, I didn't have to compliment Brad. I just need one of you guys to be smart, and then he's happy again. See?
Because as per the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram, the luminosity indicates their temperature and brightness and all that. So yeah, blue on the other. Yeah, Ronaldo's right.
There you go, Ronaldo.
It's incredibly energetic. It's very, very bright. It's a very bluish white. If you've played Elite Dangerous, like some of us have in the chat, you might remember that they are a very bluish white. Basically spewing out beams of death that you totally don't want to fly into in order to blow up your ship.
Yeah, they're beautiful, though, to look at from afar.
It is, and because they're kind of swooshing around a little bit, they leave, like, either beams of light or trails or, like, wispy tails and things like that.
Yeah. Do we have some in our system?
In our solar system, no, because only the sun is here. In our
galaxy, the
yes,
sun is the only star, and I gotta keep remembering that the sun is the only star in our solar system, but in our galaxy of Milky Way, there's a lot of stars. Got it. Look, I'm learning this stuff, guys.
Okay. But our galaxy has between 200 and 400 billion stars, and probably like a tiny, tiny fraction of them are neutron stars, but a tiny fraction of 400 billion is still a lot.
That makes sense.
So I think they predict that there are several hundred million of them. But that's like a half of a tenth of a percent of all the stars in the galaxy are neutron stars.
Then what does the 80s song "Doing the Neutron Dance" mean? Is it because of the way the waves of the blue light would look that might have inspired that song?
No idea.
You don't know about Neutron Dance by Pointer Sisters?
No.
Oh my gosh.
That could be nothing to do with even...
I bet you it does have something to do with it. I bet you it does.
It could have to do with atomic science, which is where the neutron is from.
Oh, well tell me what's that... Where's that from? What do you mean?
What do I mean by nuclear science?
Oh no, okay, so you mean neutron is... Okay. So what about quarks? I want to know about quarks, because Buddy Bud was saying... What's that, and what does that have to do with neutron stars?
So it's theorized that every atomic particle, like a proton or a neutron or an electron, is made up of quarks, which are even smaller than them. And which quarks are in that particle will determine the particle's...
What is a quark?
It's a subatomic particle, whereas a neutron or a proton is an atomic particle.
Okay, so more, please?
So think of, like, carbon dioxide or glucose is a molecule comprised of multiple atoms, but oxygen is one atom. I got mixed up earlier, sorry.
That's okay, you can correct yourself.
And one atom of like hydrogen or helium or everything on the periodic table is made up of protons and neutrons and electrons. And then those are made up of zinc or quarks. And because it gets into that kind of quantum weirdness area of science, which we're running out of ideas or don't know how to explain it completely properly, they have weird names.
How does that sound, Buddy Bud?
So there's like top quark, bottom quark.
Wait, there's tops and bottoms and quarks?
Well, this is what they named them. Top, bottom, up, down, and strange and charm, I think, are the 6 kinds of quarks.
What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, these are like subatomic particles, and quark stars are theorized to be kind of like the neutron star got crushed by gravity into essentially subatomic particles. They think that could happen in an even crazier environment, say like a supermassive star, or like one of the hugest stars known to be observed. Its supernova would crush it so violently that it would make a quark star, which would just be an even more energetic, even more crazy dense kind of neutron star. If you've ever heard of like Neil deGrasse Tyson or other like physicists and astronomers talk about how like a spoonful of this star would weigh as much as a mountain, they're talking about neutron stars because it's so dense.
Gotcha. There is something in my note about some stars not breaking laws of physics, which I can read after that.
It's on the edge of physics breaking, because it's kind of like if you get more dense than that, it'll create a black hole.
Yeah,
it's on the way to black hole town.
It's on the way to black hole.
That is not a phrasing. That's not a reference.
Black hole town phrasing. Yeah, like I literally wrote the note, some stars break physics. How? But you just kind of answered that. You kind of answered that. Some stars break physics. So which ones break physics? These neutron stars? These quark stars? Is that what we're talking about?
Neutron stars and quark stars kind of bend physics.
Which ones break physics?
The ones that turn into black
holes. Gotcha. Ronaldo said there's a hospital machine that was first used in space to show that the neutrons have a resonating, oh god, I dropped too close to the planet, dance and give off music. Yeah, I've heard that the sun has sound too, and the sun is a star, and that there is sound. That there's sound from stars, that stars make sound. What about that? What about that, Brad? What about that? So that would make sense that would make sense that neutrons have a resonating dance and give off music. If we've also heard that the sun has a sound, like a bell. Isn't that what they say? That there's like a bell-like sound from the sun? Right? Am I wrong?
Maybe. I don't know.
What do you mean? You never heard about that?
No.
The acoustics can tell us a bit about the stars, says Buddy Bud. Well, you better learn today, because I'm telling you, I've heard about that. How do we know?
First point of that, if you've heard of something that doesn't make it absolutely true, you have to say that right away. It doesn't matter what
in science.
The other thing, if you can't hear anything in space, no one can hear you scream.
Yeah, but that's not real. That's a myth we made for aliens. You can hear sound in space.
Cite your sources.
Okay.
If space is empty, there's no molecules to transmit sound. That's how sound propagates through any kind of volume.
Can you hear sound?
The reason you hear things outside is because all the molecules in the atmosphere are basically ricocheting and transmitting that sound.
No, you cannot hear sound in space because it's created by vibration of particles, and these vibrations need a medium to travel through. No medium, no sound.
You need,
But okay, then does the sun make sound? Does the sun do stars make sound? Yes, stars make sound, so no, not the kind you can hear with your ears. They produce sound waves, but they are outside the range of human hearing. These waves, caused by temperature changes within the star's interior, can be detected and studied using techniques like asteroseismology. Sound waves in stars. Stars are not solid. They are mostly made of gas and plasma. When the temperature inside a star changes, it creates sound waves that travel through the star's interior. They are detected. These sound waves cause the star to expand and contract like a ringing bell. Scientists can observe these subtle changes in the star's brightness and surface to detect the sound waves. The study of these stellar sound waves is called asteroseismology. What
Yeah, you said
stars
that.
sound like? When scientists convert the frequencies of the sound waves to audible ranges, they sound like various tones and noises depending on the star's size and properties. For example, large stars sound like a warped ray gun, or a low echo. Medium-sized stars sound like a persistent hum, like our sun, I would guess. Small stars sound like a weather siren. Oh god, that'd be terrible. Wouldn't that be more annoying? Small stars sound terrible. A weather siren is horrifying. Anyway, benefits of studying stellar sounds. Asteroseismology can help scientists understand a star's composition, age, size, contribution to the evolution of the galaxy, and even the age of planets orbiting the stars. So now, and there's a video of singing stars. Listen to the sound within it. Yeah. Symphony of Stars from NASA. The Science of Stellar Sound Waves. NASA. The stars are performing a concert as sound waves travel through them. Telescopes sensitive to stellar vibrations help scientists learn a lot about stars as well as their planets. We can't hear it with our ears, but they are performing a concert, one that never stops. I am sharing this link in the freaking Discord once it finishes updating. Does I ever get away from that planet, or am I dead? Yeah, Buddy Bud said the acoustics can tell us a bit about the stars. Exactly. That's what I just read, Buddy. Thank you. Buddy, I'm sorry. Old Virgin says the sounds you hear in Elite when you FSS a system are actually based on radio sounds from planets in our own solar system. Whoa. Did you know that, Brad? Oh my goodness. Old Virgin coming through. Ronaldo says the molecule is the actual one making the noise. We can measure at what sound the molecule is making. Interesting. We're learning today that I fell too close to this water world that I'm trying to map, and now I'm freaking gotta push away from it, and I'm using up a lot of fuel. Okay, that's what we're learning. Okay, what do you think, Brad? Brad, what do you think? We learned about something. Brad shared. Oh, Brad shared the diagram. Oh, that's a much better diagram. Although I kind of miss. No, I don't miss the other one. This one's better. You're right. And I'm sharing the Symphony of the Stars article from NASA. Is it NASA or NASA? NASA. Wow, that is a nice diagram, by the way. Absolute magnitude, luminosity, color. Although there are a lot main sequence. It also shows the sequence. Thank you for sharing that in the Let's Discuss podcast section. Guys, isn't that exciting? We're learning things. Brad, are you with us? Brad?
Yep.
Are you excited? We're learning things. We're all learning. Oh, shit. I'm too close to the... If I was further away, I could have mapped this better. If I was closer. I mean, further away. Yeah. Let's get this frame shift drive out of the... I gotta use the escape vector. Sorry, guys. Okay. Yeah, feel free to chime in anytime you guys want, and I'll try not to interrupt Brad, but also try to... you guys make him happy when you're smart. Unlike me, that's why Ronaldo, I don't need to apologize to him. I frustrate him, but that's just because, I'm a frustrating person and I'm learning, and it frustrates him. That's all. He's fine. Because you guys, it's you guys that make him happy, not me. If I could make him happy, then we wouldn't be here doing a podcast. Can stars leave the galaxy? I had that question. But I'm glad you care about Brad. Thank you, Ronaldo. Can stars leave the galaxy? I was thinking about that, but I was thinking also our star is we already went over this in a different episode where we were talking about the star is moving like a corkscrew through space and taking our whole solar system with it, right? So
But every star of the galaxy is doing that, but the galaxy's kind of...
Wait. Oh, do all stars move like corkscrews? Do we know this?
Okay.
Do all... Wait,
Okay,
I'm all excited
calm
now.
down. Someone got excited. Oh shit.
Okay, I just got all excited.
That corkscrew thing you keep talking about.
It's just the sun because of gravitational pull?
No.
What is it?
Calm down.
Okay.
It's a star going through the galaxy, but because it has planets and things with it,
it's making a corkscrew?
They will follow it.
Oh.
And it just looks like a corkscrew because if you have things orbiting but then moving on a perpendicular vector, it will look like a corkscrew from the outside. We don't see any difference because we're inside that corkscrew thing.
Do other stars do that, or is this something more particular because we have a bunch of planets going around our sun and it's the pull of gravity and blah, blah, blah? Like, do we know this yet?
Stars that don't have, well, it's kind of like a physical metric. It's not something we really have to observe. Stars that don't have planets will not do that because they have no planets.
So what do they do? Just hang out?
They fly through the galaxy. But it's kind of like molecules of water in a river all kind of flow. They don't have to go exactly the same speed in exactly the same direction.
But ours does.
They're all going downstream, for example.
Okay.
So all the stars in the Milky Way are rotating in... Is clockwise or counterclockwise? Can't remember, but they're all kind of going the same way. But obviously,
Stegosaurus.
It's a big place, and there's 300 billion of them. Maybe one will get pulled in a different direction by a large star or a black hole, and then suddenly, like, whoop, you get ejected from the river of stars that we live in, and suddenly you're flying way over there.
We live in a river of stars. So I need a source, whether we're going clockwise or counterclockwise. Old Virgin says, yes, stars can leave the galaxy. We are, in fact, tracking stars that are going to do this very thing. That's kind of exciting. Wait, Old Virgin, are you the one that works at... Who's the one that works literally at a freaking place with the telescope and all sciencey and stuff?
An observatory?
Yes, that's the word I meant. Sorry, words have been hard. I'm fasting, guys. And I'm not at the point where, I fasted. Yeah, I did a 50-hour fast, and I ate really good food yesterday, and now I'm back to fasting, so I'm not at the smart stage again. I'm stupid.
Like a podcast.
No, that wasn't the timing. I'm always going to be in. I'm not drunk. That's not fair.
No, but this kind of excited...
Well, maybe I'm excited about stars. Not me, but I'd love to, says Old Virgin. There's somebody in our community, though, that literally said the other episode that they do work at an observatory, and I could hear Brad's jealousy, through the mic. Not mean jealousy, just,
I think I literally said that.
Yeah, okay. I was trying to make you sound nice. But yeah, he was totally jealous. He was... That doesn't bode well for that galaxy.
You're actually interested in, and not just some shit job? Yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah. Life choices and opportunities not given to everybody.
You can't always follow your dreams, kids, so maybe you don't have any. I don't know.
Oh my god. That's starting to sound like my regular streams, guys. That's exactly the sort of stuff I say. Reynaldo says, Brad, I ran out gas in spaceship. Can I slingshot a planet's gravity? We're going... You're talking about Apollo 13. This was actually talked about on a Helldivers 2 episode recently. This has been fucking done. The Apollo 13 mission, am I right? Or did we slingshot the sun? What did we do for Apollo 13, Brad?
Apollo 13 didn't run out of gas or run out of power.
Okay, but either way, it's slingshot.
It's not... Those are different things.
Well, either way... Ran out of power. It ran out of power, and then what happened?
Either way, what?
What happened? Yes,
in order to get them home, it went around the moon to slingshot it back towards Earth.
With math! They used math, right?
Yeah, space travel has a lot of math in it. Right.
And that was a real thing. It was Shamu Harpy that was telling us about Apollo 13, which anybody who'd seen Tom Hanks movie would know about that. Yeah, it was... Oh, fuck, I dropped too close again. Sorry. That doesn't bode too well for that galaxy. Which one? I got lost. Sorry. Not me, but I'd love to. And yeah, you're right. Okay.
Anyway,
Um.
if we're still not over the whole stars being ejected from the galaxy thing, I think it's called relative motion.
Ooh.
Is what we can look at. Like when we look at the night sky, all the stars aren't perfectly static. We can, through observation, tell what direction they're moving in and how fast they're moving. And I don't know, I can't think of a good analogy right now, but it's kind of like imagine ships in the ocean where you can see one really far away, and it can be moving fast, but because it's really far away, it still takes a while to get across the horizon. But a ship that's close, fucking speeds past you, just like, gone. You can't see it anymore, or you have to look in a different direction to keep seeing it. So there are some stars that we know are close, because of other measurements, and they're moving, like, so obviously fast that it's like, okay, if they keep going that direction, they're going to like fly out of the galaxy eventually. Because the galaxy might be 100,000 light years across, but it's only a couple thousand light years thick. It's like, okay, if this star lives to be 10 billion years old, but every million years it travels 1,000 light years, in like 3 million years it's going to be gone. Fly away. Bye.
There you go.
Nice to know you.
So a rogue star. Oh, wait. Ronaldo. Oh, I was going to get to that. Ronaldo says, how about our nighttime star changing our skies because they're moving out of our horizon, like you say? Ronaldo says.
Yeah, so over time the constellations will change shape because their stars are moving around.
Have they already changed? Have they already changed shape or not yet?
I mean, they're constantly moving, so they have changed shape. But we're talking about the time span of like thousands and thousands of years, so we won't notice. But the Egyptians looked up at different constellations than we can see.
Yeah, that was something I was going to get into about myths later. That's on my
was slightly different shape.
Oh.
But some of the parts of the constellations, because they're moving together, will stay that same
and those are
orientation.
Clusters, right? Like star clusters stay together generally.
Yeah, there's different kinds.
And they stay together.
Asterisms like that. Well, they're bound by the gravity that kind of links them together. They're kind of like a large, like how a solar system is bound together by gravity. It's kind of like a larger version of that.
And that's why our sun is so weird that we only have a singular one. That's still so weird to me that I didn't know that we don't have that it's rare. Old Virgin says the Voyager missions also use slingshots, gravity assist too. Thanks, Old Virgin, for letting us know. There you go. Apparently
it's a really efficient way to get
save fuel.
Spacecraft around the solar system.
And it's save fuel, right? And it's save fuel and
yeah, because you're using planet's gravity to accelerate it instead of having to carry more fuel and burning fuel.
We've kind of, and I wanted to enjoy the Titanic Star Night with you guys. Wait, the Titanic Start Night with you guys? What do you mean, Ronaldo? Is that something happening right now, or what do you mean, Ronaldo? What does he mean? I wanted to enjoy the Titanic Start Night with you guys. I don't know, Ronaldo, what you mean. You might have to clarify. Old Virgin says gravity assists are very common in space travel to the outer solar system. Ah, that makes sense. I think Brad wants skyhooks still, though, right? Don't you want skyhooks or something? We really talked about skyhooks in old episodes. Forgetting things out there, up there. I mean, I know it has nothing to do with them mentioning. I'm sorry. Brad, where are you in space? You're not already at the bubble, are you?
No.
Okay.
I'm not even at the center yet. I'm still.
I am 24. I'm 24 jumps away from my next thing, but I'm doing a map. Okay, so I'll leave that question for later because that's more hooey kind of stuff. Stars what? My writing. Oh, yeah. We could go over the star classes in order. We sort of talked about the star, but we could do that. We could go over the star classes in order. I was going to ask you about that and if you wanted to explain some of that. Like, that's the "Oh, be a fine girl, kiss me" thing.
Yeah.
But I know we're
Stellar
going back.
classification.
Yeah, I'd love to hear about stellar classification.
Well, at the top of the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram, kind of mentions that they're listed
Oh,
at the
okay.
very top.
He's already over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We kind of did go over that enough, I think. Yeah, you're
Well,
right.
they correspond to color and temperature, which kind of relates to their size. I think of them, the most varied would be M stars,
Which are
which are the red, the reddish
ones, the red ones.
But
Those
they're
are
not.
the,
That's what I was about to say. They're not. They're varied because they're not necessarily all small.
but they're
The
the
majority
coldest.
the majority of the stars in the night sky, like 80% of them, are red dwarfs. So you probably can't see 80% of the stars out there because they're too dim and too small. But at the same time, Betelgeuse is an M type because it's red. The letter denotes its color, essentially, which corresponds to its temperature, not necessarily its size.
Oh, okay.
So,
Right.
a red supergiant and a red dwarf are both red, so they're both going to be M types. But the Roman
Nice.
numeral after it, like an M51, is a supergiant. An M5V is a red dwarf.
See, that's like mathish. I did not know that. Oh, and Ronaldo said, I said that because we won't enjoy the same sky as a long time ago. We'll be dead, though, so if that's any help, Ronaldo. I mean, you know. Does that help? Sorry. Just say, no? Sorry. Okay, so
We're all uplifted.
best stars for navigation. Oh, by the way, Ronaldo said Beetlejuice. You spelt it wrong. He spelled it like the movie, but it's a massive monster, just plain scary. What about the Great Attractor? Says Ronaldo.
I'm pretty sure the Great Attractor is a supermassive black hole.
Oh. Well, what about it?
I think it's a supermassive black hole.
In our galaxy? Is that it?
Oh, sorry, no. I think that's maybe the Great Annihilator.
What's the Great Annihilator? Oh, is that other one that they're concerned about? Beetlejuice and then a supernova someday. I guess I didn't put a Great Annihilator down there. I didn't put anything about Annihilator. I have a question. I know it's hooey. Are stars alive?
Probably not. They're
That's
essentially
interesting.
fire.
Is
What's
fire
saying is fire
alive?
alive? Is fire alive?
I don't know. We don't actually know
Probably
what the
not.
great. We don't actually know what the Great Attractor is. Says Old Virgin. I don't know. Some firefighters says they watch fire happen. I mean, did you ever see the movie Backdraft? It made it seem like it was alive, didn't it? We don't
Making something
actually know
seem like
what
it's
the Great
alive doesn't mean it's alive. The Great Attractor is probably a gravitational force that's pulling things towards a certain region of space, hence the name Great Attractor, but we don't know what it is.
That's kind of
Might be
exciting
some
to
sort of
know.
gravimetric fortress, might be some sort of like dark matter buildup.
Didn't we kind of talk about that in a previous episode where we felt like we're being pulled, like everything's moving towards somewhere?
Not
the
everything,
whole-
but a lot
all
of
of-
stuff is.
A lot of stuff is. Yeah, Ronaldo says the Great Attractor we don't know a lot about. It's supposed to be dark matter, what holds us to kind of in place. It's a great mystery. Okay, so it's speculation at this point. But speculation is part of science until it's proven. To be fair, right? Okay, I gotta turn the light on. I need my glasses. Oh, glasses. Okay. So we already talked about what stars are made of. Stars being in pairs. Our sun is weird. Betelgeuse or UY Scuddy could
Yep.
swallow our system. How? What is the Scuddy one? Why is this UI Scuddy talked about? What is that one? Where's that one?
Okay, so the name UI Scuddy.
Oh, wait. Before you say that, I'm sorry to interrupt. The Great Attractor is pulling thousands of galaxies towards it, but we don't know why, says Old Virgin. There you go. Please carry on with Scuddy, because what the hell is that?
So, like naming conventions for constellations of the night sky they're called, I think they're called Bayer designations after the astronomer who began naming them that. So, the brightest star gets the alpha designation, the second brightest star gets the beta designation, gamma, delta, and so on and so forth to the Greek alphabet. But because constellations are basically like a region of the sky, there might be way more stars in that region of the sky than there are Greek letters. So after they run out of Greek letters, they start giving them like Latin letters, A, B, C, D, all this, or numbers and all this stuff. So eventually, the constellation Scutum, of which stars are called Alpha Scuti and Beta Scuti, it basically got to the letter UY.
I have 4 suns right here that I just jumped in on. Oh shit. I just jumped in on 4 suns. Just saying. I mean, I'm okay. Like, thankfully, the 2 other ones are... Did you guys see that? 4 suns. That would be what... Since we're calling... And suns are stars. What would we call them again? A cluster? Or what are they? A cluster? Or what? What are they?
That'd be a quaternary system.
A quaternary system.
Binary is 2, trinary is 3, quaternary is 4.
Does that look like a quaternary system, guys?
A star, so that would be like a solar system with 4 stars in it. A star cluster would be 4 solar systems that are close to each other.
Okay. Yeah, that does look sick. Old Virgin says UI Scuddy was the biggest star we discovered and is big enough that it would swallow our whole solar system. Is Jupiter protecting us from that again? Jupiter seems to be protecting us from everything. It can't protect us?
Jupiter wouldn't do shit. Jupiter would not do fucking shit.
Jupiter would be like, hey, I'm out. I've done enough for you guys. You guys are on your own.
Like throwing a match in a campfire.
Oh.
Too minuscule to help us.
When you close yourself off to an open opinion, you stop learning, says Ronaldo. That's right. And that looks sick. And Old Virgin says, no, Jupiter would poop its pants. There you go. Then everybody would laugh and call Jupiter poopy pants. No, anyway. Okay. All right. Some stars break physics. We already talked about that. The rogue stars, we already talked about some leaving the system, but that's what, a pull of gravity or some shit. Look at this white star. That would make it A class, right? And A means it's the 3rd hottest. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, see, I'm going to learn. I'm actually finally learning in Elite Dangerous.
Every time you jump to a star in Elite Dangerous, it'll tell you what type it is.
I know, but now I'm understanding a little more. Does that make sense?
No, I know. I'm just... So you can kind of see in the top corner...
No, I'm looking there. I'm looking at the sun, and I'm guessing. Let me learn. I'm learning.
Okay, well, like I'm saying, you can get kind of a heads up, like, oh, I'm jumping to an A star, it's probably going to be white.
Well, now I'll know that. Yeah. No, you guys told me that when I started, but I didn't really understand. Okay, so this is what I kind of got excited about, and I'm going to ask Brad, while I ramble about this for a minute, for Brad to think about his favorite star in the sky, but don't tell us yet. Keep it for after so they have something to look forward to, because if you tell them now, they won't listen to anything I'm going to say right now, probably. So, I really was hung up on this We Are Stardust thing since I was a kid, since I heard the song. And I did think it was some hippie stuff, we are Stardust, blah, 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 blah. But this is something actually Brad talked about that I sort of heard. I'm not meaning to insult Brad. I do hear you, but not all the time do I hear everything at the right time because I get overwhelmed by stuff. But anyway, Stardust. is carbon, oxygen, iron, and other elements, and they were forged inside ancient stars that exploded in supernova. And the thing that I was hung up on that I made another page of notes about is about us being stardust. How we are made of stardust. Hydrogen and helium, which I believe Brad had said was what created like the universe, right? Like that's kind of what put them all together, right? Is that kind of what it is, or how our solar system or suns or whatever? Anyway, I don't know. He can correct me. Stars made. What is that word? Oh my god. Neutron elements? Is that the word, or am I wrong? I don't know. My writing is really bad. I'm sorry. Supernova spread the elements. New stars were made, planets, and life formed from that. And the human body reflects the history of this. Carbon equals a backbone of life's molecules. Oxygen is in water and air. We breathe it. Calcium is in bones. Iron in blood. I lost a lot of that years ago. And all came from stars. We are stardust. We are made from stardust.
Yeah.
What do you? Which is kind of
like the early universe was nothing but hydrogen. That's the idea. It was basically plasma. It was hot gas, and it was all hydrogen and helium.
Liquid magma.
Maybe not even helium. It was just hydrogen that, through energetic processes, kept fusing together into helium, and then made stars, and then those stars exploded, and in those explosions, helium would fuse into other heavier elements, like carbon and oxygen, and silicon, and calcium, and iron. Mm-hmm. And throughout the evolution of the universe, that kept happening. Entire solar systems living and thriving and then dying and being destroyed and scattered into other elements. And the further down the periodic table you go, the heavier they get. So the uranium that we use in nuclear reactors here on Earth came from a series of supernova throughout the early universe.
Why don't we ever... So Old Virgin says stars can make elements up to iron, but it takes a supernova to make higher elements. So yeah, what Brad just said, right?
Yeah.
So what do you...
But like he said, stars can make up to iron without exploding. So there's been a series of there might be like an iron star out there somewhere.
Ooh.
It's right an old star just fusing stuff into iron.
What are you playing?
Because we know there's carbon stars. We know there's carbon stars. We can observe them. We have observed them. So stars that are literally fusing elements up to carbon.
So why not up to the other elements that we're made of? It makes sense.
Because they're way heavier and it takes far more energy than a star can do to do that. That's why you need supernovas.
Okay. Ronaldo... Oh, shit. I flew too close to the sun. Ronaldo says, what are you playing? I want to buy it. I am playing Elite Dangerous on console. If you get it on PC, you get Space Legs. We don't want to talk about it. But yeah, it's a cool game. You can do more than what I'm doing. I'm just explorer. Buddy Bud says, AKA Diamond Stars. Is that what you're thinking of, the carbon stars? Is that what they're called? Diamond stars?
That's another... I don't know if we've observed them, but that's kind of the same theory.
Oh, so we could have diamond stars?
Diamonds are made of carbon.
Like the rings that are around one of the planets that are... They speculate... Isn't there a planet in our solar system that they speculate rains diamonds?
Yeah, I think that was brought up earlier.
What planet was that?
Neptune or Uranus or one of their moons.
Yeah, one of the moons or something? Yeah. Yeah.
Space is weird. It's big enough and has enough energy in it that weird stuff like raining diamonds will happen.
That's kind of cool. Better than raining blood.
You wouldn't be able to survive there, but...
That is pretty cool about us being made of stardust. Oh shit, I am on fire. This is probably the worst I've ever jumped, guys, in a long time since I started. I mean, I'm at 93% hull, I've got enough jumps. I don't have too many jumps to get to a station, right? 20 jumps? I'll be okay.
That's 20 more chances to get burned alive by a star.
Yeah, the past couple times it's been tough. Now we could find. How about the meteor made out of nothing but diamonds? Says Ronaldo. That's not stars, but I guess that would be a thing.
But the meteors.
I think, but the meteors though. Did we already talk? Didn't we talk about meteors? Or we talked about when we were talking about the solar system. We talked about some stuff. We're talking about stars tonight. Stars. What's your favorite star in the sky? You guys can answer in the chat if you have a favorite star. I want to know. What's your favorite star? And Brad, I want to know what your favorite star is, please. If you have a favorite one. You can think about it. We can get back to it.
Trying to think. No, I don't really want to dwell on it for too long. We're just trying to. I mean, there's some not that these are my answers, but just to think of potential answers. Like people could think of Alpha Centauri because it's so famous because it's close. And then more recently we discovered that there's planets orbiting around stars in that system, so that our nearest neighbors could have life around it. You never know. Or potential real estate for us, at least.
Which one?
Proxima Centauri.
Proxima Centauri.
Is a dwarf star in the Alpha Centauri system. It's a trinary star system because there's 3 stars there. Why did they go Alpha, Beta, Proxima? I don't know. Some people cheat and can't remember the Greek alphabet all the time. I don't know why they did that.
I don't understand.
Marketing.
Oh, okay.
Part of astronomy and math is probably memorizing the Greek alphabet just because of how often it's used. Nerd.
Your favorite star is Dolly Parton, Ronaldo? Well, that's a solid choice, but not an actual star yet. She is made of stardust, though. So, just like everybody. So, I like Dolly Parton as well. But, yeah, she's not an actual star of fire in the sky. So, but I appreciate your answer. Buddy Bud says, I like the sun. It takes care of me. Buddy Bud, solid, good answer.
It was right
shout out to the sun. Shout out to the sun
for
keeping us alive. Shout out to the sun. Without you, we'd all be dead eventually. Not immediately. How long would it take for us to die if the sun went out?
It gives people skin cancer. It'd take 8.6 minutes.
Okay, yeah. 8.6 minutes. See, we get 8. Oh, God, that's you guys can fuck at least twice. That's not bad. 8 minutes to have sex. At least twice. Just so you know. 3 times? Are most people about 3 times, maybe 2 minutes? 2-3 minutes?
What are you talking about?
Well, if you have 8 minutes before you're dead from the sun getting gone, you got enough time to have sex 2 or 3 times. Just saying. That's enough time. Right?
Lame sex stat.
Well, it's just a fact. I mean, guys are about 2 to 3 minutes, so I'm just saying. If it should happen, you guys have that much time. Consensually, of course. I mean, can you imagine the world's ending and they say no to you? Back tonight, I have a headache. I'm just saying. That'd be kind of funny. I mean, it's sad. But make sure it's consensual. You can't use, but the sun is dead as an excuse. It must be consensual.
I don't know how the fuck we got on this topic, but yeah, okay.
Well, the sun exploding and all life ending on Earth. Some people decide what they might do at the very last moment. I'm thinking that might be one of the things people do. And I'm just reminding people that even if the sun is exploded, it should be consensual between adults. Okay. Old Virgin says, Beetlejuice is my favorite because it is so easy to identify. And Buddy Bud with the wow. Old Virgin and Pop Rock. Exactly. Old Virgin says Proxima is because it is the closest star to Sol. And Sol is our sun's name, right? Am I remembering that right? Learning things and stuff? Is that our son's name? Sol, S-O-L?
In Latin. Yeah.
Ronaldo said, good answer about probably what Brad said. Ronaldo said, hey, you're expecting too much of us in 8 minutes. Yeah, I am expecting quick recovery time. You're right. So maybe, I guess twice with like a couple minutes to hug or like say, get away from me. I don't know. Ronaldo says bombastic side eye to that. Well, it's just the facts, okay? Come on, most people will fuck if it was the end of the world. Let's be real. Not everybody.
I like how we won't talk about meters, but we're talking about this.
It's totally on topic. The sun was gonna fucking explode.
It's kind of stupid, too.
It's stupid to you, but it's not stupid to me. Okay? It's an important part of my
This episode stars and also fucking because the sun exploded.
Exactly. Thank you for getting it right. See, bro just has a way with words. Okay. So I don't have a favorite star. I'm not elitist like that. But the best stars for navigation is Polaris, Crux, which is called the Southern Cross, isn't it, for some reason? Sirius, the dog star, right? And the Pleiades, from what I hear. It just turned not safe for work. My channel is not safe for work. It's an adult channel. Yeah. That's okay. I'm sure people have heard of sex. Or Brad. Maybe I don't know about Brad. I'm just saying. Okay, myths about stars. I really want to talk about this, but I want to wait until you're all scienced out. Like, if you have more science about stars, I could find some. I could open up my laptop. But I also was really excited to talk about the myths and what you thought about the connection of them from the science, physics. Are we going to talk about
the navigation star thing, or are we just going to mention it?
Sure. Oh, well, I mentioned it. If you want to talk about it, I'd love that, because I want to make a coffee. So is that okay? Okay. I'll bring you with me. You guys. You guys are coming with me. Just please do.
Like Polaris is the North Star, so yeah, that's good for navigation in the Northern Hemisphere, because you can't see it in the Southern Hemisphere. That's why Crux is used in the Southern Hemisphere.
And that's why it's called the Southern Cross. Why is it called the Cross, though? The Southern Cross. Does it look like a cross?
Crux is Latin for cross. So yes, it's a small asterism that you look up at the night sky. It's like, yeah, that makes a little plus sign. Or a cross.
Oh. No. Why didn't they call it the Southern Plus sign?
Not as catchy.
Okay. Please continue. I'm still here.
You mentioned Sirius.
Yeah,
Dog
the
Star.
Dog Star. Why is it called the Dog Star again? Does it look like a dog? Is that it?
No, it's the brightest star in Canis Major.
Oh, isn't that a cluster of 3 dogs? Isn't there 3 stars in that dog, or no? How many stars are in that dog?
You're cutting out a lot.
I know, that's because I'm going to the kitchen. How many stars are in the dog? Is it 3 stars?
Canis Majoris, there's more than 3.
How many then? Please.
I don't remember off the top of my head. I think the main asterism has, what, 1, 2, 3, 8? But there might be many more, stars that are in that region of space, but not visible to the naked eye, because previously mentioned luminosity, distance, and all that stuff.
6.5. 6.5, right? No, wait. That's what we can see, right? 6.5.
Yeah. Absolute magnitude.
Absolutely.
Absolute magnitude is, apparent magnitude. So apparent magnitude is what we can see because it's apparent to us. Absolute magnitude is actually how bright a star is. But if it's really far away, it'll be dim to us because it's really far away. So its apparent magnitude decreases with distance. Like you could take 2 flashlights that are the same brightness and one, give it to your friend and tell it to fucking go hundreds and hundreds of yards away. And it's the same flashlight, but it'll be much less bright because it's really far away. So its apparent magnitude gets diminished, even though its absolute magnitude is the same.
So we have telescopes that affect. Oh, I should probably start my ship. I'm like not even paying attention to it. So we have telescopes that allow us to see past the apparent. What is it called? Absolute magnitude.
Apparent magnitude.
Apparent magnitude.
Yeah, 6.5 is like the naked eye. So like someone walking outside and looking up is like, okay, they could probably see up to 6 or 7.
Although some people might not be able to see that far because of their eyesight, and some people might see better. We don't know. Do you think some people can see better? Or it also
Probably.
depends on light pollution, too.
It very much depends on light pollution, or even like stuff like obviously the weather,
where you
like
come
cloudiness. But
Yeah.
no, I'm
Well,
talking about
where
like
you are in
physical
the world?
characteristics.
Oh, okay. Please
Like
continue.
obviously, if there's aurora borealis, you can't really see because there's some giant electrical storm happening in the atmosphere. Or if it's cloudy, you can't see because there's clouds. Or light pollution makes it way harder to even see anything. This is being drowned out by much nearer. But like obviously, a traffic light or lights coming out of a city isn't nearly the size of a star, but because it's really close, it drowns it out.
You're going to have to keep talking for a minute while I'm away from the... I'm out of range. Please continue. Brad!
But what?
I'm right too far away. Could you please help me out? I'm pouring the almond and oat vanilla latte creamer into my coffee. Sorry. So I wonder what my absolute... What is that called again? Absolute... Fuck, I forgot the term already. Please tell me again. Absolute
magnitude is how bright something
Magnitude.
is. Apparent magnitude is how bright it seems to the viewer.
apparent magnitude.
So there's stars that might be magnitude 22, which is extremely dim, but instruments can detect them and see them.
Oh,
That's
I
really
missed
okay.
some comments. I missed some comments. Guys, I was making my coffee. So Ronaldo said, so Cryan's belt actually is just an indicator to find the North Star for navigation. What do you think of that?
Orion's belt is used
Oh,
to
that was
point at
Orion.
stars.
Sorry, I didn't see. I read Cryan's belt because they put a K, but yeah, Orion's belt.
Orion's belt doesn't point towards the North Star. It points towards the Dog Star and Aldebaran, which is the brightest star in Taurus.
Take that,
The
Ronaldo. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not trying to be like, actually.
Actually, I'm totally being actually.
The two stars in the Big Dipper is actually really good at pointing at stuff because the end of the scoop will point at the North Star. The curved handle of the ladle in Ursa Major will arc around to Arcturus and Spica, so you can find those stars that way. And then there's other more complicated, like, oh, these two stars draw a line that makes an X and goes in this direction or other shit.
There you go. So you weren't totally off. I'm sorry about that. I wasn't being a real jerk. I'm just being weird. That's all. It's part of what makes it beautiful. Vault 78 said stars are the most beautiful thing we have in the universe. Agreed, Vault 78. And did you hear earlier? It is actually true. We are made of stardust. Which later I will get all hooey about, if that's the word, and say that's kind of beautiful if you're grieving, or whatever, or anything, if you feel so disconnected and isolated from life. We actually come from we're made up from stardust. We're made up of the same things as stars. Maybe for those of us who aren't religion-based, maybe we're going to return to the stars.
The only reason you
Dust to
exist is because of ancient colossal explosions.
Yeah, I mean, and then the explosion between whoever procreated us. But yeah. Oh, we went back there, but see, stars are sexy. I'm just telling you. It's true, though. It took the explosions of a star to create life and what we're made of, and it took the explosion of our of somebody to create us. Anyway, we're go. It's true, though,
Wow.
Brad. You can't say, "Hey, not wow." It's true. It's true. Your parents had sex. I'm sorry to tell you that, Brad, but they had sex. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I know. I don't care though.
Stray Cat said, "What's up, chat?" Hey,
Hey,
Stray
Stray
Cat. Good to
Cat.
see you. Oh, you know me nothing. Anyway, Buddy Bud says, "Hey, Stray Cat, we're learning." And Reynaldo said, "I see, Brad. I've been stream sniping him since we started. I got you, Brad." Stream sniping who? I'm the one streaming. I'm Oh No Series. Brad isn't streaming nothing. What are you talking about? I'm the one on the ship. Brad's far better at this than me. Brad wouldn't be crashing into the sun like me. It's me playing the video game. It's my channel. What the hell, Ronaldo? You think I'm not? You think I'm not flying this ship? It's my ship. It's my little purple ship.
I'm the captain now.
Yeah, Brad's not the. Brad's the. What the hell here? I mean, come on now. I'm like, what do you mean he's sniping it? This me. This me getting my maps. Brad's already probably near the bubble, about to hand in his maps. Eventually, you'll see him. If we keep doing this, and on okay, this is our 15th episode. If I actually stick to playing Elite Dangerous on Fridays, you will eventually see his ship on my broadcast. Eventually, if he doesn't get annoyed, I mean, maybe he'll come meet my ship. Because if he's already at the center, I got a long way to go to the center. So it all depends on if he decides on an adventure that would take us elsewhere to a different quadrant by the time I get there, right? Or near there, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Does
we're
that make
probably
sense?
somewhere in between the center and where you are right now.
Yeah, that makes more sense because
Just engineered to go faster than you.
yeah, he can do faster and do more jumps. So I'm going to catch up to you guys again. You people saw a falling star, said False 78. Yeah, I've seen falling stars. Who hasn't seen a falling star? Everybody's made a wish on a falling
Shooting
star.
star?
Yeah, shooting star. Yeah. Have you not? Well, tell me what it is. Well, but catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Are you telling me that's not real? We're actually seeing falling comets or meteors? Is that what you're telling me? Tell me what it is.
Yeah. It's
Oh, well,
meteors.
then ruin it. Ruin it for us. Ruin it for all that
Spoiler
wonderful
alert,
song.
science crushes hopes and dreams with reality.
But what about that
You can take
song,
that to the
Catch a
bank.
Falling Star, and put it
I mean, you
in
could
your
try.
pocket?
Sure, try to catch something hundreds
That
of thousands of miles
a
wide that's
star
moving
can't
fire.
fall.
Catch it.
And a star can't fall if it's gonna explode.
It
Anyway.
can fall into a larger gravity source, like a black hole.
Yeah,
or a
but it
larger
won't
star.
fall to Earth or fall in view of us. It'll just fall into a. So we were lied to our whole lives.
By
And that
song?
beautiful
Yes.
song. Oh, you know what? I don't care. We're gonna put that song in the Discord. Just hold on for a minute. You know what? Listen to it. Catch a fall. You know, of course I'm gonna learn this on Friday the 13th. You had to ruin it. Perry Como, right?
You're asking me
Why is
like I know.
Well, why don't you know? What's wrong with you? I'm just saying.
Don't care for sappy music?
Perry Como,
Oh,
it's
so-
impossible. Well, now I know it's impossible that you could catch a falling star, since apparently it's a thing that can't happen. Thanks
It
a
would
lot,
kill
Fold 78. Fold 78, you ruined my hopes and dreams there. I appreciate you. We're going to put that in the music section of the Discord, which I don't know if you guys aren't there. And I hope you guys listen to that song and cry yourselves to sleep tonight. Okay, so Buddy Bud, is this No Man's Sky Star Stuff, Stray Cat? Actually, this is just so you know, this is me playing Elite Dangerous. No Man's Sky is going to be on Saturdays, so Brian and I never talked about what time, if he's going to join me or if he's had enough of me today. And I am going to play No Man's Sky on Saturdays. I just don't know what time works, so maybe we'll get to that after. We'll talk about that after. He might be done with me though right now. We'll find out. But I do want to play No Man's Sky on Saturdays. This is Elite Dangerous, but I've only decided to play Elite Dangerous for the Space Podcast because, as you can hear, I'm already so distracted anyway. No Man's Sky kind of over. I'm so new. It was too overwhelming.
It was too stimulating for her to have a conversation about a topic that isn't No Man's Sky.
Yeah. And to be fair, even this is a lie. Like, I could just, but at least here I could just park my ship and you guys could just look at the wondrous beauty of it all. Yes, the game is Elite Dangerous. Thank you guys for sharing that. Stray Cat said Arcturus. Hell yeah. Oh my god, I'm so far behind. I'm catching up, guys. I'm catching up. We're gonna catch up, and then I'm really looking forward to talking about myths. Okay. Arcturus, hell yeah, says Stray Cat. What is that? So tell me.
Arcturus.
We've mentioned Arcturus in previous episodes. So will you tell me what's going on with that? What about that? Why are you guys excited about Arcturus?
No, it's just kind of happy place to be. It's Alpha Bootus, I'm pretty sure.
What?
Remember Boots from the Constellation pop quiz?
Oh my gosh, yeah, the pop quiz that you had. Where's that sheet? How many did you get right and wrong?
I didn't do that great.
Okay,
anyway,
yeah,
Boots
well,
is the like diamond shaped.
You did really good, guys.
Like a kite shaped constellation of most of its bright stars. Mm-hmm. And like the very bottom point in the kite is where Arcturus is. And the handle of the Big Dipper, if you follow it the curvature, not like a straight line, it will lead you to Arcturus in the night sky.
Well, there you go.
And it's on that it was on that Hertzsprung-Russell diagram. So I think it's a yellow subgiant.
There you go.
It's kind of big.
Oh, and a yellow subgiant would be the F, the fine in the be a fine girl or guy, kiss me. Yeah.
Yep.
That's where that is. That's
when I was learning that mnemonic, it had more letters.
Why? Why'd they take letters away? They take planets away. They take letters away. You can't depend on anything.
So it had Obi. So it was Obi Fine Girl Kiss Me Right Now Stupid because after M was R and S.
What? Why?
That's what it was.
What happened?
Because they were minor, like I don't know if it was carbon stars, but other kind of
Why'd they take them away?
Because they reclassified what those letters were. They're L, T, and Y class dwarfs now, I believe.
Well, why did they do that to you guys? You learn that shit. You take the time to memorize it, and they're like, no, Pluto isn't a planet anymore. Sorry, that's my own trauma coming up there.
But those last three letters they're not main sequence, they're brown dwarf stars. So they're somewhere in between a very large Jupiter-type planet and the coolest of M-class stars. So they're kind of like, you didn't really make it into, like...
You didn't make the cut.
Star yeah. You're like, you made the B team.
Okay, so keeping on the subject of the stars, I'm going to catch up. Old Virgin said Orion's belt holds up his skirt and sword. I missed that. Oh, of Arcturus? Is that what that's from?
No.
Oh, was that a previous thing that we had talked about that was about?
Arcturus is a different constellation. It's a different star.
What's Orion's belt holding up the skirt and sword of?
So the constellation Orion is, like if you're familiar with it, there's 3 stars in the center, and that makes up Orion's belt. Okay. If you've seen the Men in Black movies, refer to that. Mm-hmm. And it's 3, I think, B or O type stars.
Shout out to us being in a marble. Sorry.
So they're very blue, even like when you look at them. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure they're all they're very close together to each other. So like we were talking about earlier, where these constellations are drifting and changing shape because all the stars are going to fly in different directions. Those 3 stars are moving in the same direction together.
Okay.
They're associated by their gravity locally.
All right.
And then, like, he's talking about the sword part. The sword in the constellation Orion is the Orion Nebula.
Okay. All right.
So you kind of have to visualize this shape of like a hunter and a sword hanging from his belt with like
Which one is the constellation that has like the bow and arrow?
That's Sagittarius,
There you go.
the Archer.
The Archer. Gotcha. Okay, so I'm going to continue with the comments that I missed. We're all adults here. Ronaldo says, don't get your feeling hurt. You guys are fine. I'm actually happy to have you and chat here. Oh, my feelings aren't hurt, Ronaldo. I just sound like this because I'm like this.
We're mostly adults.
Yeah, we're mostly adults. Volt78 says, my favorite series is Big Bang Theory. Volt78, try ruining it for yourself by watching it without the laugh track. Oh, God, that was painful for me. But I used to love it, too. I remember, too, a little bit. Because it was like, oh, yay, but then don't watch it. Don't look for the YouTube cuts of it with no laughter. It will ruin it for you.
I imagine watching any sitcom like that with a laugh track, just like...
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, wait, not funny. Yeah, but
like
that's okay.
Table flip.
Yeah, don't do that to yourself, Volt78, so keep enjoying it. Stray Cat says, can we learn about gravity and the other fundamental forces of the universe, please? Stray Cat, don't rush us. Gravity is on the list of episodes. This episode is stars.
About gravity.
Yeah, this episode is about stars. But my God, I can't wait until we talk about gravity, but I'm waiting. Because this is like episode 15, and we go back and forth between like more sci-fi and more, sciencey and more like, ooh, Sirius is flipping out. Let's bring her to like something wonderful, like stars. We're going to, if you want to go back through the episodes, you can hear different scatterings, but we have gotten really excited about gravity in past episodes. I have, and some of the audience has. We're definitely going to have an episode all about gravity, because the more I learned about it, and not just the way it affects my body,
the heavier it gets.
Yeah, and
I
my
like how they
body too.
specifically mention the other fundamental forces, because gravity is not alone up there.
Yeah, like gravity is freaking amazing, and I didn't realize just how it affects. Basically, it's come up in every episode we've ever done, almost, right? Because it's a fundamental
the major
force.
Factor in astronomy.
Yeah, so, and I never realized, not only because this was not my field of knowledge, but I never realized just how important and how incredible a force it was. Anyway, Stray Cat, but yeah, another time we will definitely have a whole episode about gravity, because I'm really excited about that topic too.
Shout out to the other fundamental forces of nature.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Maybe we can get into like, what are the other fundamental forces of nature?
Electromagnetism and the strong and weak nuclear force.
Well, then, could we add that? Can you make a quick note to add that to your topic list?
Are they going to go with gravity?
We're going to go with gravity. Yeah.
But in the gravity episode, you want to talk just about the fundamental forces of nature, which will mostly be about gravity, but it'll mention the other three too.
Sure, yeah. Can we make a note about that? I was kind of looking forward to the gravity episode, but if it's the fundamental forces of nature, that does leave it more open in case we we talked all there is about gravity.
I think of it as like how like the more classical kind of I don't know if I should call it science, but like the classical elements were earth, air, fire, and water. And ether was in there later to explain some other shit. But I like how the four fundamental forces are kind of like a modern scientific analogy to that.
Well, could you put that in the topics, please, when you update? I would appreciate that before we forget. Just saying. Well, I'm still catching up with comments. I'm just trying to keep them busy too while I catch up with comments. It will be good. Vault said, yeah, it are meteors. It flames off in the atmosphere, but still nice. I don't know what that was. Anyway, Ronaldo says...
Okay. That was way back at Shooting Stars.
Okay. Ronaldo says, Puss in Boots' last wish upon a star is fire. But it wasn't a wish on a star now. Gosh, so we've ruined Puss in Boots as well? Nobody's wished on a falling star at all? We've just wished on falling meteors and comets and bullshit like that? Space debris? we've probably wished on space junk. Probably more now. People are wishing on space junk that's falling out of the sky, like satellites and shit. And we're like, ooh, I'm making a wish. You're wishing on like SpaceX bullshit garbage falling from the sky. That ruined everything. Thanks, guys. I appreciate
Wish
you
upon a
guys.
piece of Columbia.
Oh no! What if somebody didn't know about that and they did wish on it? Oh, that's so sad. Oh, don't make me cry. Oh wow, hold on. Oh no, because if somebody is far enough away and they saw it coming down, they might have been like, "Hey, kid, make a wish." And, oh God. And you're mad at me. I think my reference about sex is far better than us talking about people wishing on debris from ships. I mean, okay, let's move on. Good stuff, though. I feel better now. See, this is why I'm allowed to say what I can, because Brad's allowed to talk about that. So, okay. They took Pluto. These monsters took Pluto. Reynaldo, I know. We'll never get past it. Okay, Fault 78 has, can you look at distance planets and classify them? Now, we talked about planets in a different episode, but if you want to relate this to the sun, we did talk about this earlier in the episode. Did we not talk about that already? About how you can, Vault 70 says, can you look at distance planets and classify them? Are we talking
about planets?
Yeah, we're talking about stars in this episode. But we did talk about something similar to that what was that? Somebody made a comment about some way
we talked
that...
about exoplanets.
No, in this episode where we talked about how you can tell the street, the passing in front of the lights of a car. Yeah.
Transit method, how we can look at a star, and if it gets dim once in a while, sometimes that's because a planet is moving in front of its light. That's obscuring it.
That's Fault 78, the closest we'll get to answering that, because we've already talked about planets in the previous episode, and this is about stars.
I do like that idea, because it's pretty science fiction-y, because like, we haven't really, like, humans and the Astronomical Union and NASA hasn't really determined a classification system to categorize planets as we discover them, because we really can't verify what they're like yet. But maybe in a century, when we have better telescopes and things, we will. But that's definitely like a science fiction thing, because various sci-fi universes have classification systems for Earth-like versus a Mars kind of planet, or a gas giant, or ice world, or maybe what we did to them. Like it's a different callus planet because it's all farmland. Turn the whole planet into a farmland to make food for people, or we turn the whole planet's surface into a factory because it was kind of a hellhole anyway. So just we're not really.
That's what will happen to Earth.
No, I don't think so.
Ronaldo says Fault, they classified them starting Latin, then letters and the numbers, and so and so. Old Virgin says Orion was a giant, very handsome Greek hunter. Sounds like Old Virgin has a crush on Orion, and that's fine. We accept all sorts of god worship in here. Are you saying Orion was very fetching? Fetching hunter. Sorry, I didn't realize I'd do that. Sorry. That was clever. Wasn't that clever? Come on, Brad, give me that. It was clever. Was it clever? No?
Leave that to the jury.
He begrudgingly accepts that it was clever. We can use Portal, says Vault 78. Yeah, that's sci-fi. Which is fine. We do like to get sci-fi in here. We're just not that tonight. We're doing stars, because stars. Watch us with... Ronaldo says... Watch us wish on a canister of space poop. They don't actually cast their shit into space. Unless, I don't know, unless the independent companies do it. Yeah, to be fair, I mean, we don't, but who knows if these companies are going to be doing that shit because they don't have the they aren't regulated the same way, are they? And whatever. So who knows? They might be just throwing all sorts of shit into space. We don't know. We don't know them. Not that many of them are actually going to space. They're actually just fucking going to the atmosphere. But whatever. Old Virgin says, does it really matter what people wish on? It's the journey to make your wish come true that really matters. Old Virgin, that's fucking right.
Hallmark will eat
Yeah,
that shit up.
yeah. So if you're
But we're talking about scientific fact, not stars.
but also, yeah, like Old Virgin, if you're wishing on like the debris of a
Throw a penny into
exploded
a well like a
spaceship,
normal person, damn it.
I didn't do it when I was
Oh,
in
the
Rome.
Wishing
I guess
Well.
I don't get to go back there. Ooh, Wishing Well by the singer. It's a great song. Wishing Well in the 80s. It's a great song, guys. Buddy Bud says that is beautiful though. Buddy Bud says wishing upon space junk is just hilarious. But it's probably what we're going to be doing a lot more of, Buddy Bud. I mean, considering we thought we were wishing on stars and we were actually just wishing on falling comets and meteors and probably debris already, since satellites, if they did fall out of orbit, I mean, I guess we probably are. And considering the amount, we did this in a different episode where we talked about space debris. There's a lot of debris up there, and some of it is going to fall, and I'm going to fall into that sun if I'm not careful. And I'm guessing if people still do even look up at the sky and wish on stars anymore, they are wishing on junk. Yeah, they're going to be wishing on space junk. But can you spot like something the same like Earth, says Vault 78? Okay, we already talked about that. You thought James Webb Telescope? Yeah. Okay, gotcha. I'm catching up. Old Virgin says at Vault 78, we can't actually see exoplanets. We know that they're there because we can see the dimming of stars as they pass in front, or we can tell from the wobble of the star. Isn't that a nice answer, Brad? Do you like that one?
We've
Or
been able
did
to
you
detect
mute?
molecules, though, too. So we're seeing them in not just how they affect things, but we can actually measure them. We can't see them like take a picture. But there's some posters of like, hey, these are all the planets that the Kepler telescope has discovered, and it's widely varied sizes and colors, but that's based on like spectroscopy and
What's that? Spectroscopy.
you can the light that you see from an object can be analyzed to figure out what chemicals are in it, like spectral emission lines and that kind of thing. They kind of hint at what it's made of, and most chemicals will inherently have a color.
Okay.
Like copper, copper oxides turn like green and blue, and iron oxides turn like reddish and brown. Sulfur is yellow. So that kind of things. So if you see certain elements in the atmospheres or the surfaces of planets, you can kind of guess at what their colors will be like. But that doesn't mean like we have no idea what is it a thick atmosphere with crazy weather? Is it no atmosphere? That kind of, like, we don't know yet. We can't know that. But yeah, the wobbling thing, because the gravity of the planet will affect the star's position in the sky, and the transit method of the star's light being dimmed are far easier to detect, because you can kind of detect that passively.
What about stars dimming?
That's that transit method we talked about.
Okay, got it. Stray Cat says red shifting and blue shifting as it pertains to stars.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay, we're going with that.
Now. So redshift and blue shift is... okay, if an ambulance drives by and the sound of the siren changes as it's driving by you?
Yes, that happens daily.
That's called the Doppler effect. But light will do that.
Why is it called the Doppler effect?
It's named after
Doppler?
some Doppler dude that figured it out. Okay. Or kind of explained the science behind it. I don't remember that part exactly. But that's the Doppler effect. And redshift and blueshift is kind of like that, with objects moving incredibly fast toward or away from you.
So then what does that have to do? Red shifting and blue shifting.
So I'm honestly trying to remember which one is which. If redshift is toward you or redshift is away. I think
Angry.
redshift is away.
What do you guys think? Is
Vote
red
now in the
away?
comments below while I Google it.
Yeah, angry
But
typing.
okay, so the Doppler effect of sound, like it, the sound kind of changing in pitch as it goes away and changing in pitch as it gets closer to you. The light waves will do the same thing as those sound waves are doing.
Yes, redshift is away. Old
And
Virgin
the same
said.
thank you. And the same light wave will have to like stretch out as it moves away from you, and it will be compressed as it moves towards you. So that will change the color of the light itself, because light is literally the difference of frequency. Different colors are different frequencies of light.
There you go.
So things moving away will turn redder, and things getting
Wait,
closer will turn
so
bluer.
when people are high and say color is a sound, it's
No.
So, oh, okay. Just saying. Okay.
So it's harder to tell at smaller scales, but at the galactic scale, like entire galaxies moving away from us at enormous speeds will be reddish, or galaxies moving towards us at incredible speeds will be a little more bluish than normal.
So we should be scared about the blue ones if they're coming at us real fast.
I mean, they're not coming right for us, they're just headed in our direction, so the light becomes compressed. They might miss us by hundreds of millions of light years, but they're coming in our direction.
Okay. Ronaldo said...
Yeah.
There you go. Ronaldo said Orions have them curved so much so that the stellar body wobbles baby. Oh. Is that true? Did that make any sense?
Maybe?
Ronaldo said, okay. Ronaldo said, Old Virgin, what happened to a copper penny in a hole? I'm going to put that on a Hallmark card and give it to Granny. That was good. Well, there you go. Okay. Ronaldo says, Rose Royce song, I'm Wishing in a Star. I don't know that song, but I remember Waiting for a Star to Fall. Another song ruined. Waiting for a Star to Fall from the 80s. Guys, do you know? Oh, God. This is terrible. Because they wanted to wish on the star. All of it is a lie.
It's almost like older songs didn't know modern science. Whoa.
Oh, jeez. This is terrible. Boy Meets Girl. Guys, do you remember this song? Aww. Aww. Okay, no. Hold, please. This must go in the, oh, it is in my playlist. It's gonna, no, I'm not trying to play it. Don't hit me with copyright. I'm gonna put that in memory of, stars used to be, things we could, it's fine, I'll be fine. Old Virgin, okay, Ronaldo, okay, Beetlejuice is a cool star, says Stray Cat. Yeah, we went over that. Apparently, it is a cool, it's not spelled that way, Stray Cat, but yes. It is one of the possibilities of going supernova. Old Virgin, yes, redshift is away. Stray Cat said red and blue make purple. What's purple in the shift? What does that mean? I don't know. Brad?
Well, if red is one direction and blue is the other direction, they would cancel each other out. They wouldn't combine to make purple.
There you go. Ah, take that.
Maybe there's some like weird black hole nonsense that mixes them together and you get purple shift. Who knows?
There you go. We don't know. Bud says red shift, blue shift, one shift, two shift. Vault 78, so photon need to be extracted. It's not always rumble. I don't know. What does that mean? Are you talking about photons needing to be extracted from what?
I don't know.
Okay. Vault 78 says you like some meteor groups that I have spotted. Okay, so did you have more to say on that? Because I did want to get into some myths. We got some time. Unless some other people have some star questions or comments or theories or things on stars. I don't know if Brad has any. Do you have any more remarks about stars that you wanted to?
Did we cover all the topics that you wanted to?
No, I'm not to myths yet. There's a lot with myths that I
No,
want to get
excluding myths, did we cover all the scientific topics you want to talk about?
well,
Color, temperature, luminosity, lifespan, Hertz per Ruxel, OB5, weird
so
stars.
a big star, Vault 78
Potential
says.
likelihood to harbor life.
So a big star goes to a black hole. Yes, Vault 78. Sometimes, yeah. Well, I was looking at the NASA, the life and death of it. Oh my God, it's so beautiful, guys. The link is in the thingy. But 10 cool things about stars you probably didn't know. There's a lot of ads. Every star you see in the night sky is bigger and brighter than our sun. Stars brighter than magnitude 6? That's what you already talked about. Alpha Centauri, the least intrinsically bright. It is more than 1.5 times more luminous, and it's 4.2 light years away. I know Brad doesn't want me to be reading facts, but if he has anything to add about this shit.
Can't argue with facts. I'm eating a pretzel.
Stray Cat says, when you look up at the night sky and you see all those stars belong to humanity. They belong to us. Oh, Stray Cat, that's kind of beautiful. Ronaldo says, do we need to actually extract
You work for the Ministry of Truth, sir.
Yeah.
That's the Ministry of Truth talking. Those stars don't belong to anybody, especially not us.
Yeah, we don't own those stars. There you go, exactly.
Can't even take care of our planet. You want us to take care of every star that we can see? That's bullshit.
Exactly. Ronaldo says, do we need to actually extract the photon, but we use the rumbling to test it? That's the resonating frequency we look at. Okay. Well, we covered stuff like that earlier, I think, about, like, you cannot see a million stars on a dark night, apparently. Red, hot, and cool, and blue. No, what? Stars are black bodies. What? There are no green stars. We already know that. You've talked about the spectrum before.
Do you remember why, though? Pop quiz, hotshot, why were there green stars?
The spectrum, I don't know, something about the spectrum of wavelengths, and I don't know. We can only see certain types, and I don't know why.
It's our eyes.
Yeah.
It's our eyes kind of take the green out of it.
Wait. What is this here? I've never seen this. This is from earthsky.org. Our sun is a green star? What was said just above notwithstanding, our sun is a green star, or more specifically a green-blue star, whose peak wavelength lies clearly in the transition area on the spectrum between blue and green. This isn't just an idle fact, but is most important because the temperature of a star is related to the color of its most predominant wavelength of emission. In the sun's case, the surface temperature is about 5,800 Kelvin, about 5,500 Celsius or 10,000 Fahrenheit, or 500 nanometers, a green-blue. However, as indicated above, when the human eye factors in the other colors around it, the sun's apparent color comes out a white or even a yellowish wave. White. What the fuck? It's a green? I've been lied to? Why didn't you tell me?
We just talked about that. But we can't see the green stars because of how our eyes work.
So then a lot of stars are probably green and or this color or that color, but because our eyes don't work that way, we've just decided, oh, they're a white star, oh, they're a yellow star.
We don't decide it, we perceive it. And that's how we describe things, based on our perception.
Then why are they even mentioning it as a green star? Why would they say our sun is a green star at all?
They literally just explained why they said that.
Well, that's stupid.
But they also explained why we called it not that previously.
Huh. Okay. Gotcha. I mean, that makes sense, but it's a bit confusing.
Things like lasers and like LEDs will only emit one color, but most things emit multiple wavelengths of colors, which is what they said, but it's washed out by other things.
Huh. It's kind of
That whatever article
weird, though.
you read just said that.
Yeah, earthsky.org. I already saw this fact before that stars don't twinkle. The scintillate is the word they use, which is kind of sexy, especially when they are near that. They don't. Sirius twinkles, sparkles, and flashes so much that some people actually report it as a UFO. But is twinkling a property of the star sun? No, it's a property of Earth's turbulent atmosphere. As the light from a star passes through the atmosphere, especially when the star appears near the horizon, it must pass through many layers of often rapidly differing density. This has the effect of deflecting the light, slightly like a ball in a pinball machine. The light eventually gets to your eyes, but every deflection causes it to change slightly in color and intensity. The result is twinkling. Above the Earth's atmosphere, stars do not twinkle. That's kind of like nobody can see the same rainbow. Isn't that is that true? Nobody can see the rainbow the same. Nobody sees a rainbow the same. Is that the same kind of thing?
No.
When a rainbow's in the sky?
I mean, they're both optics, so it's a vague correlation, but they're both related.
Okay. When you look,
sorry, we can't talk about it.
what are the zombie stars since stars are suns? Says Ronaldo. Zombie stars? Never heard of zombie stars.
Please clarify.
Yeah, don't know what you mean by zombie stars. You're gonna have to let us know, Ronaldo, what you're talking about.
Zombies are kind of like the undead, and you can't really have
a dead star. Like we already have black holes.
I guess an undead star would be one that. Well, yeah, but not every star ends its life as a black hole.
So then, what are we doing here? What are we talking about then?
It could just kind of run out of fuel, and kind of like how a campfire goes out and just becomes like some burnt up logs. What's left of a star could be a black dwarf. It would kind of be a zombie star in that kind of sense, where it's like it's not burning. This is not. It's kind of dead, I guess you could describe it as that.
Huh. Ronaldo says I discriminate against laser because they see colors and not people. Plus, they drive my cat crazy. Oh, you mean laser beams, like red laser cat toys? I just read something that literally said gravity is a fundamental force of nature, and all matter has it. When something is pulled into a black hole, the process is more like a fish. Okay, here, this was just a fact on that same thing that was about how black holes don't suck. Because if they did, the Earth... Oh, am I in a double sun system again? Is this a binary? It's called binary, right? If there are two?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a binary system. You it must be annoying for you because you probably mentioned binary systems to me like back when we played this, and I didn't know what you were talking about. Sorry.
It's fine. You're learning.
Yeah, well, it takes me a long time to learn some things.
Like a lot of the stuff I learned as like a young teenager.
It needs an application. Yeah.
And the science has gotten like we have better telescopes. Like Kepler didn't exist when I was a kid, so all these planets that it's found were not knowledge. Who's older than me?
I am older than you. Facts about space facts. Why? Okay. How are they saying that? How did they know this number? There are 9,096 stars visible to the naked eye in the entire sky. To see more, you need to use a telescope. How did they know how many fucking stars are visible to the naked eye? Did somebody literally count them all? That's some bullshit.
I mean,
is that a real fact?
Instruments. I mean, if you believe it, the answer would be instruments calculated it.
Oh, okay. Oh,
because
okay.
we
Like
learned from the magnitude thing.
Oh, okay.
If you can't see past magnitude 6.5, then just get some kind of telescopes that will be like, okay, we'll filter out stars that are not brighter than that magnitude.
Ooh,
like, okay, well, there's only 1,000. 997. Okay.
Old Virgin is offering some knowledge. Zombie stars are stars that have white dwarf or neutron stars inside them. Zombie stars, I think, are still theoretical. Is it like that idea that there's a star with a black hole in it in our...
Okay, so not real. Next.
Okay, there you go.
I don't know.
Well, not yet. You don't know. Not yet. Stars are born in batches in their stellar nurseries. Over time, they travel through the Milky Way far from their creations. What's a creations? Is that like from where they were created? Most stars travel the galaxy with companions or in clusters, but not all stars do that. Our sun, for example, moves through the galaxy without a stellar companion. Maybe that's why all of us feel this existential loneliness inside, because our sun is alone. Vault 78 said, is Pluto not a zombie star? No, Vault. What the fuck? Vault 78. Pluto was a fucking planet. It didn't suddenly become a zombie star just because they classified it from being a planet. No. What? No. What makes you think it would have a white dwarf in it or a neutron star in it? Pluto would be back on the map again, though, I tell you. Bring Pluto, make Pluto great again. Brad? Brad?
What?
Any thoughts about that?
About
or
what?
is it Pluto zombie planet? I don't know.
I didn't think that was a real question.
Okay. The oldest accurately dated star chart appeared in ancient Egyptian astronomy in 1534 BC, guys. In 185 AD, Chinese astronomers were first to record a supernova. This is now classified as SN 185. And the furthest distance an individual star has been observed from is about 100 million light years from the Earth in the M100 galaxy of the Virgo cluster. Just so you guys know, I'm just waiting for Brad to come back. So, Ronaldo says, so can we bring up the subject of later for how we were able to finally exit the edge of our galaxy and Leviathans were found with cuties in them? What? We talked about, exiting the galaxy, in, previous episodes of colonizations. I don't know what you mean by cuties. Are you talking about, like, the Leviathans in Helldiver 2? Or what are you talking about? I don't hear Brad, so I don't know what the fuck. Ronaldo, no. I don't know until Brad chimes in. Brad, are you there?
I'm eating.
Oh,
I'm
he's
listening.
eating.
Just ask
Well,
Ronaldo
what
to
does that
clarify
mean?
so we can talk about. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ask him to clarify.
Yeah, you need to clarify because we have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Sorry about that. There's a stellar nursery near us. It's called Orion Nebula. So Orion is still important. Is it in any way connected to the Orion constellation we have, or it's just a separate thing? The stellar nursery. Is that the same one?
The Orion Nebula is what there was an old version was talking about as the sword on Orion's belt.
Huh? So that's a stellar nursery?
Every nebula is a stellar nursery, yes.
Wow. Wow.
Because that cloud of gas that we were talking about, how stars are formed, a nebula is a cloud of gas.
Oh.
Basically hydrogen and helium, and over millions of years,
So
once
in
it
our-
actually gets together, it'll make new stars, and some of
So-
it's doing so right now. Like
In
the
the
Pleiades.
constellations we look at, the Seven Sisters is the Pleiades. Okay. Yes, Orion Nebula is in the Orion constellation, says Old Virgin. Cities, says Ronaldo. Found with cities in them. Exit the... Okay. So, can we bring up the subject later for how we're finally able to exit the edge of our galaxy and Leviathans are found with cities in them? What are you talking about, Ronaldo? Are you talking about science fiction? You need to, like, state a source. Cities of what? Cities outside of our solar system? We're talking about science right now. We're not in the sci-fi speculation part. Vault 78 said bon appetit, but they misspelled it, so they retracted, I think. But anybody played Mass Effect? Yeah, people have played lots of games here. Yeah. Yeah. But are you guys talking about stars still? Like, if you want to speculate about sci-fi stars, I mean, I was going to speculate about myths. So if you guys want to connect some stars stuff to it, the most massive star is R136A1 in the Tarantula Nebula, and the Large Magellanic Cloud. I never heard of that one. What's that?
The Magellanic Cloud.
Yeah, what is that? I never heard of that. What?
It's a minor galaxy that orbits the Milky Way.
Oh, neat.
It was discovered by Magellan.
Yeah, no. Ronaldo says, okay, we exited our universe and there was monsters the size of leviathans with cities on them. So big monsters with cities on them. Okay, Ronaldo, we're not playing that. Like we're not doing that, but okay. We're talking about stars. Sorry about that. James Webb has some amazing pictures of it. Of what, Fault 78? Of the Orion Nebula?
Or the Tarantula Nebula, or both.
Of the Tarantula Nebula? Okay. Ronaldo says never mind. Yeah, probably. I mean, we have gone into sci-fi on past episodes. It's just, that's not where we're at in this episode.
Ronaldo, I do want to talk about megastructures as an episode.
Yes, don't worry, we will talk about it.
Giant, crazy flying cities and Death Stars and stuff. We'll get there.
Yeah, we will get there. Like it is in the note. It's in the notes. Don't worry, Ronaldo. We aren't doing all that in one episode. This is our 15th episode, and we have talked about other, things like that. That's the original space game. How about the show Stargate? Again, Ronaldo, we've talked about different things like that in previous episodes, and we will talk about, structures and stuff like that in later episodes. This is stars, like literally about stars. But I appreciate your enthusiasm for
Series
Stargate.
wanted to know the fundamentals of science of
stars. And then I wanted to get into like the myths, and then I wanted to just remember the fact that we are made of stardust. I think that is fucking cool as fuck. I don't know what you guys think about that, but the fact that we literally have proof that we're made of components of stuff that created our solar system, that creates stars, is amazing to me. But I don't know why anybody isn't blown away by that. Vega Betelgeuse is often mentioned. That's one that people really have their eye on for blowing up. Antares Rigel, Orion's brightest star. It's the 7th brightest in the sky. Okay, well that link is done. Ronaldo says, why are the windows and viewing ports so small on our equipment that we don't enjoy the view of stars when in outer space?
It's a safety feature.
Yeah. Because, I mean...
big windows can break easy.
Yeah. 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 And that would be bad. That would be very bad. Zeta Reticula, says Stray Cat. What's that about? What's Zeta Reticula?
Zeta Reticuli is a star in the Reticulum constellation. Zeta is the 5th letter, I think. So it's the 5th brightest star in Reticulum.
Oh. There are way too many ads on this. This thing is going over, this link from space.com is going over the life pattern of stars, which I find really kind of interesting. Ooh, with a cool image of a star life cycle. At the top of the cycle, a supernova takes place, releasing debris. The supernova remnant joins the interstellar medium to form new stars. And the greater the mass of such a star, the higher, more quickly it will use its hydrogen fuel, and the shorter it stays on the main sequence. After all, the hydrogen in the core is fused into helium. The star changes rapidly. Wow, there's a parallel to humans, isn't there? Some of
If you
us,
want to make one, I guess.
a high
This is
mass star forms and dies
Adeline.
quickly. Kind of hooey, but kind of interesting. The bigger the star, the quicker it fades away. Now, it's interesting. The history of star observations kind of ties into the myths I wanted to talk about. Oh, that's gorgeous. I love that, FM, that you put in there.
Well, even just what the constellations are named after are mythical figures.
Mhm.
Pegasus, Hercules, Orion.
Mhm.
You know, there's other
Ooh.
stuff like dragons and bears, but
They mention the 88 constellations, which I totally have made, totally messed up Brad over. Astrophotography. There was an Exo Worlds contest. Nobody told me. And in 2016, 227 star names were approved. What, Alpha Centauri? It was replaced with a new name. What's that name, Brad? Did you know Alpha Centauri had its name replaced?
it has another name.
It was replaced with
Rigel
Regal.
Centaurus.
Oh my god, you know this. You said it has another name. He's like, I refuse to say its name was replaced. It's the same name. It'll always be Alpha Centauri to you, right?
Alpha Centauri is its designation. It doesn't necessarily mean it's its name.
Okay.
Like Betelgeuse is the name of a star, but I'm pretty sure it's like Beta Orionis, whereas Rigel's Alpha Orionis.
Astronomers describe star brightness in terms of magnitude and luminosity, which is what Brad has already told us. And wow. It's based on a scale that's more than 2,000 years old, devised by Greek astronomer Hipparchus. Can you say his name, please? Hipparchus, around 125 BC. Hipparchus.
Oh, Hipparchus.
He numbered groups of stars based on their brightness as seen from Earth. I'm still impressed by Brad's knowledge on that quiz, says Old Virgin. Yeah, I mean, I don't think many of us would have even gotten a 5.
I'm glad I passed. I got a passing grade. That's why saving grace. There's still a few that was like, how did you not get that? Like, I don't know.
Right? It was the pressure. I think it was the pressure. But it's also your brain trying to remember stuff.
Yeah, I didn't. I deliberately wanted to not really study and be like, yeah, I can remember quite a few.
That's why it was pop quiz. I did kind of do pop quiz on you too. Like I did, it was pop quiz time.
Shoot the hostage. Wait, different quiz.
Vault 78. But Andromeda. What about it? What about Andromeda?
Andromeda the series, or Andromeda the constellation, or Andromeda the galaxy?
Let's talk about. I don't know. Oh no, if it's not about stars, I guess we're skipping it. Ronaldo says, so has there been stars that have been able to explain the pull of a black hole, leaving it lopsided or even about to split into two? Like two parts of the same star still burning, one on top of the other? And Vault 78 was talking about Andromeda, the constellation. So you have two choices.
I'll try to get to Ronaldo's question about black holes kind of ripping stars apart.
Okay.
So black holes are called that because we can't see them. They're black, or they're kind of colorless, or it's only a gravitational force that lenses surrounding space. But when we do discover some, and the one at the center of the galaxy is this massive black hole, Sagittarius A star, we know it's there because of the huge amount of material that it's destroying, like a whirlpool, sucking in boats and stuff like that. So, if I'm recollecting a lot of like this is like an artist's impression of a black hole consuming a star and things like that. So it's literally kind of like a tiny black dot and a giant star, obviously within its gravitational range, and it's almost like imagine like a genie coming out of a lamp, and like you have this figure, but it's has like a cartoonish kind of tail that kind of descends into this tiny point of space, but the star is being kind of warped and pulled like that. So I don't know if it'll actually be like ripped in two, but it'll be consumed and destroyed like that, and eventually it will get smaller and smaller until there's nothing left. The black hole is consumed to destroy the entire thing. But during that time, you will see the star, as it orbits the black hole, getting warped. It'll turn like egg-shaped. It'll get distorted by the black hole's immense gravity. I don't know if we've ever observed that scientifically, but all the math is like that's totally how it would happen. You'd have to have like a computer simulation of what that would actually look like, I think, which is probably easy to. Like, I'm not on my PC right now, but I'm sure there's videos of stuff like that out there. It's like this is like NASA's interpretation of what this would actually math out to look like.
There you go. And we haven't skipped. We're just it's best if I don't overwhelm Brad with like a gazillion things at once, because then we get grumpy Brad at the beginning, and then I'm supposed to apologize to him according to Ronaldo, and we don't want that. So
I just don't want to miss questions, so I've been getting like 17 questions at once. The next one was Andromeda the constellation, but I don't know what specifically about Andromeda the constellation we want to talk about.
So I'm going to get to that. Yeah. The series Vault 78 skipped. No, I didn't skip Vault 78. We went to Ronaldo. But Andromeda. So Vault 78 said, but Andromeda, the constellation. Context, what about it?
It's not a... Like, it's kind of prominent. It's easy, like, if you know where, like, what to look for, it's easy to find, but it's not... Other than the galaxy in it, that's the closest major galaxy, it's not too famous, really. Orion, because of all the crazy stuff that's going on in it, and like Sirius and Canis Major because it's the closest, one of the closest, brightest stars, stuff like that.
Vault 78 did okay. Old Virgin said black holes are named after the black hole of Calcutta, an infamous prison. Really? There you go. I trust Old Virgin. Black hole, good one. Thanks for the explanation, Brad, says Vault 78. Old Virgin says we are actually tracking stars around Sag A that are being destroyed, but no video, only simulations. Which makes sense. I just shared in the Let's Discuss podcast chat my own image that I stole off a website. I should give them credit, but who cares? No, I'm not, meaning who cares? It's space.com. I'm sure they got it. So anyway, it's of a star, and it's like what it has. So it's like prominence, a convective zone, a radioactive zone, the core, sunspots, photosphere, coronal hole,
are you talking like the
corona, and flare.
Half image?
Yeah, like being able to see
layers of its atmosphere and stuff like
that. Yeah, which I found kind of cool. Kind of reminds me of an eye, if you think about it.
I always like look at like when they do that with the planets and stuff. It's like this is Earth, but this is, you know, Mercury, for example, or some other planet. Is it what?
They've decided that the sun has all this stuff to it, which I find kind of interesting.
They don't decide these things.
Oh yeah, science. Sorry, I forgot science is a thing. Yeah.
They observe it and they're like, "This makes sense to us. Let's get some math to figure that out." Yeah, okay, that math.
Oh, that's what it's called, stellar structure. Hold on, I'm gonna label it right. Stellar structure. Stellar structure. And then let me give it some credit. I'm gonna give the image credit. I'm gonna have to copy what they put here. Aw, can't they just like... Oh, they won't let me copy it. Copy link, I guess? I don't know. I'm gonna try and give him credit because that's only fair, right?
You can't copy the link.
No, like the text under it is like stupid. It won't let me.
That's like those asshole websites that don't let you right click to save a picture. It's like,
Yeah,
bitch, I have the print screen button.
yeah, exactly. So
I'm getting that image, damn it.
I'll try to see if it'll paste it. There we go. I guess. I don't know that's such a great site because it does have a lot of ads on it, but I've given the link. I wanted the image credit, ESA and NASA. Oh, you know what? ESA and NASA / Soho. Okay.
Shout out to Adblock Plus.
ESA.
They're not a sponsor, but they could be.
Right? Them and ESA and NASA.
Next episode sponsored by Adblock Plus and Stella Artois.
I'm not going to credit. You guys can just know that I stole it. That is kind of neat, though. That is kind of neat. So if you want to see that. So I'm looking at what kinds of stars we talked about. That one Phoenix says. We talked about all the stars. We talked about. That's kind of funny you said that because I just clicked on one of the links because before I go to my myths that I can't wait to close out with, I was just looking at a link from science.nasa.gov which says types of stars. There's main sequence stars, there's red giants, there's white dwarfs, neutron stars, red dwarfs, brown dwarfs, which he was talking about earlier. Why doesn't it say more stars? Why does it just say those ones? Are those the only types of stars? Oh, does the kiss thing oh, be a fine girl, kiss me? Are those all main sequence stars?
Yes.
Oh, well then that's why it's covered. Got it.
Dangerous spoiler, those are all fuel stars too.
Oh, you ruined it all, you spoiled it all. Okay, I'll share that link in the Discord as well, because that's not too bad.
So Elite Dangerous, you can visit neutron stars and black holes and brown dwarfs, but they won't fuel your ship.
Why not?
OBAF GKM stars will.
A star is a glowing ball of hot gas called plasma magma, born in a huge cloud of hydrogen known as a stellar nursery. So we were all born in a nursery? That's so crazy to think of that was all. I don't care about how many stars in the universe. But how many stars are there in the universe, Brad?
How many stars in the universe?
Yeah. Take a guess.
4 quadrillion. I don't know.
There you go. That one Phoenix, you're wondering what kind of stars we're talking about. We're talking about stars. We talked about the fact that when you wish on a star, you're not. That was the most depressing part of the podcast.
Like real stars out in space, not Hollywood stars, not fictional stars. The science of stars. The life cycle with different types.
Oh gosh, this is a beautiful link I found from Harvard. A great university that should not be defunded or have its students blah 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 blah. The Star Formation Center for Astrophysics, Harvard and Smithsonian. I've shared that link. Wait, shouldn't that be in research? I've been putting it in the Let's Discuss podcast. We're getting it all mixed up, but it's not in the research lab. I guess what I'm saying for that is it could have all gone in the research lab, but I didn't do it as research. So what do I do? Do I put it into the research instead?
I would put it in there, yeah.
Okay, I'll copy it. I'll copy the... Okay, delete message. Sorry about that. I've been putting... The images I'll keep in the Space Podcast.
I think the podcast links could be like, this is what we're talking about, so go to the podcast Discord channel to reference what we're talking about, so you can see like an image or read a link. If it's kind of like some lengthy essay about a topic, that should be in research. Just like, hey, read this later. Mm-hmm. You're not going to read the whole thing or in the podcast. We might mention it.
Oh shit. That makes sense, guys. So Research Lab and the Let's Discuss podcast will have links that pertain to what we've just been going over. Mostly it's images that will be in the Let's Discuss podcast. If it's about tonight, like the images. The Symphony of Stellar Sound Waves, I'll take that to research then. Sorry about that. Look, we're new here. I'm new here. Plus, it was on topic. It was on topic with this episode, but you guys would have to watch the episode to, like, catch up to all that we shared. So I'll put it in Research Lab. There we go. Perfect. I love the Symphony of Stars. We talked about the sound stars make. We talked about all this stuff we learned about what is it called? The science of studying the sound of stars. Astro something. I don't know if Brad retained that information. I think it was new to him too. Ronaldo says, in a universe seen as a single dot, could there be 10,000 stars to the universe anymore? Yeah. Billions. Right? We are, yeah. Billions and gazillions.
Billions and billions and billions, as Carl Sagan would say.
I probably needed more fuel, didn't I? I'm trying to get to the place before, but I don't think I can get there. So that's all I had for my links there. I'm really excited about myths though. So I'll wait. Oh, the formation. Yeah, I like that Harvard link, guys. So, and the star life cycle is from Webb Space Telescope. I'm also going to put that in the research lab of the Discord under. If you're wondering where is that, that's under the space station section. That's a Let's Discuss podcast, research lab. Ask Brad space questions. Nobody's done that yet, but you could have done that. You can ask him space questions. That's where if you have random questions here that are off topic and you're in the Discord, you could put them in there. And then if Brad feels like getting to them the next episode or it's inspiring, it could not only will we read that out loud if it pertains to something that's interesting, grabs our attention, but we can, you can also, let's say you're listening to some of the old podcast episodes we've done where we've talked about colonization and all that stuff, all that weird, wild stuff. You can put your own comments there because it seems like nobody wants to actually comment on my videos. If you want to comment on the videos, that would also help. So I'll see those and then I'll be able to read them to Brad or share them with Brad and he can answer those. Especially if you
episode 4 and timestamp this.
That would be fucking cool. That would be fucking amazing. If some of you want to really nerd out on us and go back to certain episodes and be like, excuse me, and push up your glasses and stuff, and or correct Brad, I think that would be great. But also if you just wanted to add on it or you were excited about something or you want to hear more about something, just if you happen to be listening to the Let's Discuss podcast and something you're passionate about it and you want to know more about it, just leave a comment. We'll definitely do that. I'm not trying to farm for comments. It just would be the easiest way. That or in the Discord, in the Ask Brad Space questions, because that way we can get to them, guys. Especially if I'm sounding like a, like, we're talking about stars right now, There you go. Right, Brad? Right. I really would like if somebody would, get excited about something we talked about, though. We could go back. We could make a segment where we go back and we are like, oh, and it would be lovely to be like.
You want to have a clip episode already? Whoa.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? We could have a clip episode already.
No.
No, but they already do that. That's a podcast thing where you go from episode, questions from episodes such and such. I mean, I'd love to be able to refer to that stuff. That'd be freaking cool. I mean, we're on episode 15, Brad. We've talked about so many things already. Yeah, well, wow. It is wow. I mean, that's a wow thing.
You do a clip show like the 4th season, not the 16th episode.
Oh, 4th No,
you do a clip show when you're out of ideas.
I could do a clip show already. I could do a
You
highlight reel from us
can. I'm
already.
saying you don't.
I totally could do a clip thing. I could do a clip thing. I could highlight this. We've said some funny shit. No, but anyway. Uh what was can we go to the myths before we go? Can we get into the myths?
Maybe you have 10 minutes.
I have 10 minutes. Okay, great. Great. I made some notes of myths and I think some of these are really great. So myths about stars. I see the pictures on the podcast channel. They're pretty cool. Oh, cool. Oh, you mean in the Discord, that one, Phoenix? Thank you. Yeah, Brad's been dropping stuff. Like I said, he's been dropping gold in the Let's Discuss podcast thing. Especially if you notice the socks. I made. Look at me plugging, selling this up. But I'm just saying, I did make a We Trust Brad GPT, and he's on socks now, just so you know. It's in the merch store. Just letting you guys know. You don't have to buy it. I'm just letting you know that I was totally on it. I heard you guys. I listened. I did the thing. Anyway, going to Miss About Stars. I love some of these, okay? And if you want, if any of these excite you, Brad, let me know, please. Because, like, I think they're exciting, okay? So, like,
Okay.
obviously, we've been inspired enough by the stars that we have lots of great songs that are now ruined forever for me. But these are some myths about the stars. And of course, I get why we've been. Oh shit! I went full screen on my computer. Sorry about that, guys. I lost you. Um, we've we've had we've been looking at the sky a long time. Well, until all the light pollution. So myths about the stars. Now I don't. Let me asterisk this with we don't know for sure, and I am not dismissing any belief systems because you can believe what you want. There's science, which Brad is very stringent about, but I think when it comes to like what you believe in your soul or heart about the universe, as far as beyond what we know, that's that's on you. That's your phone background. Oh, wait, you got a space background? That
Fuck
very
yeah.
image that FM shared?
Yeah.
What is it exactly again?
I think it's part of the Hubble Deep Field View thing or a James Webb, something like just
That's
some
fucking
telescope looking
wild.
into crazy into space. And like, hey, look at this crazy shit. How close is it? It's like mind-bogglingly far away.
Well, that's
But
beautiful.
I don't remember exactly, but I was like,
And he's like,
yeah,
I wish I was there. He looks at it when he's
that's
like
that's my
upset
background
about
now.
work. Aw, see?
I look at it when I open my
Synchronicities.
phone.
See, that's beautiful. See, if you're in the Discord, you know that, guys. Okay, so like I said, before I read this, some of this, again, they're myths, but not necessarily. If they're not to you, that's fine. You have merch stores, so you
Sensitivity
have
warning
plushies.
series here to crush myths and systems of belief.
I'm not going to though on this because I honestly during my journey of grief and knowing now it's not just some hippie thing to say we are stardust. We literally are made of stardust. We talked about that earlier. We're like carbon, oxygen, calcium, iron. Sorry, I said that wrong, but all that is part of what made what came from stars. So, like, I think that's kind of cool. So, I don't think this is kind of crazy that this is stuff that was believed anyway. Okay, so myths about stars. Some people believe they're the souls of the dead. I'm sure some of us have heard about that. And again, don't want people to not believe in what they believe in some ways when it comes to this, okay? Brad might disagree only because he's very scientific. I'm very like, oh, I'm hippie at heart. He knows that, right? So, okay, souls of the dead. So, like, some people believe, that, the one of the stars is the, relative or whatever. But that's been a belief. Constellations as cosmic stories, which um, we literally named constellations after
Yeah, that's not really a
Ronaldo.
myth. That's totally a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not even a myth, but I guess that might be in regard to the myths that were made. That's what the constellations were named after those myths. So, I
Yeah.
mean, literally the myth, that's a real thing.
Stories and fables and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, which is very human. We've been telling stories. That's humans are stories. We are made of stories. We've been telling stories since the beginning. Ronaldo says they want a Brad doll with glasses. Okay, going back. Uh, look, wow, my writing though. Okay, stars are holes in the sky is another myth. And Brad, if you know more about or heard about some of these myths and you want to expand upon them, I'd love that. Or anybody in the Doll Desk Buddy says Stray Cat. Wow, you guys. Wow. Brad, I told you have some fans. How come nobody wants a doll of me? I'm kind of insulted over here, but thanks. Thanks. Thanks, Brad GPT. Jeez, I told you. I'm
You
gonna
said it
work
was like a cult. The cult is growing.
I'm working my ass off, and they want dolls of you. I mean, what the fuck? But okay. I mean, first you got to check out the merch store and see if you even want a mug or something of his. If I don't see any
Gotta start with
movement,
socks. We gotta start with socks.
there's socks, stickers, and mugs so far. If none of those appeal to you, with We Trust Brad GPT, I don't know what to tell you. I can't go further than that yet. But hey, if you guys did get into it, I mean, sure, I can work out a deal with Brad where I sell them. So phrasing, you know what I mean. Brad, do you want to be a doll at some point? Uh, okay, let's go on. Brad is here, such a doll. Anyway, stars are holes in the sky. What is that about? Why would they think that
That's cool.
stars
I
are
like
holes
that.
in the sky? Really?
I don't remember hearing about that, but imagine
Yeah, I'm getting some.
someone's holding like a sheet and just pokes a little like pinholes in it and it holds it up to light. You would see what looks like the night sky.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah.
So
Please
maybe,
remark her
so
name.
maybe space is some kind of veil, and behind which is just infinite light, and stars are holes in the sky.
Aww. See? So please feel free to chime in on these when you guys get to them. Pleiades is down in there. I'm going to mention it right now. The Old Virgin says Pleiades is also known as the Seven Sisters. Orion, fell in love with one sister and hunts the sky looking for her. Holes in the sky, that's a flat earther theory, says Old Virgin. Yeah, a lot of these are probably old. Milky Way as a river or path, which I believe is on the next page, is because it's Chinese. Is it from the Chinese? I forget. I'll get to that on the next page because it's expanded upon. But that's kind of beautiful.
Alone is worth mentioning that like all of these constellations that we refer to are like the modern Western constellations.
Navigations.
And well, no, but I'm talking more that like China and the Orient has totally different constellations and asterisms and names for these groups of stars they see in the sky.
Oh, and we haven't even been learning them. I feel kind of bad.
Native Americans did the same kind of thing. Each culture has its own, like I said, for thousands of years we looked up and made stories about what we saw. It only makes sense that every culture has their own idea of what it was. Babylon had different constellations.
So if you're really into this stuff, guys, I would suggest checking out other cultures' names and stories for this stuff. I mean, who knows where that will lead you down the rabbit hole of learning some beautiful things, guys. I didn't get there because I didn't take that much time. I'm so sorry, but that would have been great. Can we make up star myths? Stray Cat, you can do whatever with your brain that you want. Be careful with it. But yeah, why can't you make up your own star myth? You can make up your
stars
stories. Stars aren't real. Are stars real? Next episode. Do stars exist?
We're put there by the government to watch us.
Birds aren't real. Yeah, fuck that shit. How stupid have we gotten if we're like, birds aren't real? These are myths, but like I said, some people you can choose to believe in them if you want or not. That's all. Stars aren't real. Yeah. Next episode, everything we said in this episode was wrong, and stars don't exist, you guys. But apparently, you can't wish on them, so I don't know. My Earth is shattered.
Maybe that was a myth in itself. The whole wish upon a star thing. They're actually not stars. That's a myth.
That sucks. Right. And the more you see that, you'll be like, I'm wishing on so many stars. No. Ronaldo says, you don't want us to have your doll. Oh no, we can't show you our full love. Wow. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to go with it.
You totally know what it means.
There's already going to be a question, and it's wonderful. Ronaldo says flat Earth is correct. Everybody else is wrong. Ronaldo, oh God. Old Virgin says nothing is real. We are in a simulation. The Matrix. Red pill, blue pill. Oh my God, they had to ruin that fucking movie, which ironically was about, but made by trans people who decided to tell a story in it. It's very interesting. You guys, that rabbit hole is very interesting. You guys ought to pull yourselves out of it and really actually check up with the directors of the films and their stories, because you guys really took that in some interesting ways, considering. I'm just saying, and I'm not getting political, I'm just saying, wow. And I love The Matrix. I'm just saying. Okay, let's get back. Stars as campfires of gods or spirits, which I kind of like. I think some people have thought of that. Stars in the sky being like campfires, of gods or of our loved ones. Could you imagine that? That's kind of nice. I can see these as some of them really being rooted in the old, like in cultures where they're not overstimulated by all this bullshit, and it was a time before. Do you know what I mean? And a comfort.
Time before science.
Yeah. Okay. Ronaldo says, I'm triggered. Earth isn't flat. Earth as a woman isn't flat. Okay. Sure. Stray Cat says stars. No, I don't believe in stars. Good point, Stray. Ronaldo says Earth Chan is real, not just a cartoon. Okay. I'm skipping over that. That one Phoenix says stars are actually just giant holes in space. It's true. That one Phoenix says. There you go. Bruce says, how late am I? Bruce,
you made it just in time to find out the stars aren't real, the holes in space.
Yeah. Bruce, you made it just in time to find out stars aren't real. Okay, so I'm not done yet. The morning star, evening star thing is a thing. That's a myth. There is no morning star and evening star. Brad might know more about that there's just like a star that we see in the sky.
It's Venus.
Thank you. I knew he could expand on that one.
And the reason it's Venus is because it's large enough and close enough that we can see it, and because it's closer to the sun than Earth is, we see it at sunrise and we see it at sunset.
And I've seen it and been like, what the hell is that? Because I always forget about Venus. And you know what I call the day moon? The moon, here's the thing. I don't mean to spoilers, guys, but the moon is always there. We just, because of night and day, we don't always see it. You know what I'm saying. But it's always there. The moon is always there. All right?
So right? It's not because of night and day. It's because it might be on the other side of the Earth and you can't see through the Earth.
Exactly. But sometimes... Yeah, but do you know how sometimes you'll catch, like, especially when I used to go outside or look at the sky, back in the olden days, I would call it the day moon, and that sometimes I'd see the full, especially a full moon. Well, the moon is always full. Oh, spoilers again! The moon is always the same. It's always the same. But anyway, my point was, well, it's always, anyway, the day moon, I like seeing that in the sky too, but the morning star and the evening star, that's kind of interesting. Morning star and evening stars, Venus is Old Virgin. Yep. This is mind-blowing, says Bruce. Yep. Ronaldo said the new Matrix is done, plus I got weird women vibes since Trinity. Ronaldo, don't be weird about Trinity. She's the one. Anyway. Wait, you mean there's a new Matrix? Wait, there were 3 movies. What are you talking about? Did I miss out on something?
They made a fourth one.
When? What was it called?
After the Before Times. Matrix 4. Revulsion, I think. No, I'm kidding. I don't remember what it was called.
Oh, God. I have no idea. I never even knew.
The first one's obviously the best one, and then the car chase in the second one's pretty cool, and then it gets kind of...
Yeah, and then it goes to really... Yeah. Okay. Then we're going, God is using stars to roast marshmallows, says Ronaldo. Mind blown. Yeah, maybe. If you believe in God, or your dead relatives
are. Marshmallows?
Marshmallows aren't real. Wait, don't believe in marshmallows if you watch the original Ghostbusters. Just don't even think of them.
I mean, you can, just don't do that to them.
Because that's terrifying. Big Beautiful Bruce says, movies have taught me that the moon is either not there or it is always full. There is no in between. Exactly, Bruce. And that is true. I'm kidding. It's not true.
It's always there, but the whole full or new or waning or waxing moon is our observation of it. So
Thank you. Which blew my mind because I honestly didn't know that because I guess I'm stupid. I'm not intelligent. But I used to think of it. But the moon is always just, it's always there. It's just our perception exactly of it, which is kind of exciting when you think about it because we put so much energy behind it. And yet, that's why I think what I had read is that the sun is what is pulling with the moon on the tides at the time that we feel that at the full moon time. It's the sun's pull as well, gravity involved as well, that has that effect on the tides.
Is that gravity again?
Yeah, gravity. It's going to come up. Gravity's going to come up and go down. Okay.
No, it goes down. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not doing it. Old Virgin says day moon in UK. See, I was so behaved there. The Old Virgin says day moon in UK is known as the children's moon in the UK. That is so interesting because they're awake then, they're out of bed. That's interesting. That is interesting, Old Virgin. I've never heard of that before in my whole life. Thank you. You know, just so you guys know, you guys give us so much. Well, I don't know about Brad. I don't know if he's getting anything out of this, but I'm getting a lot out of you guys. Brad's probably getting yeah, he's getting that. He likes you guys. I think he likes that you guys like. Yeah, you guys are great. I do like this. Ronaldo says, so can we talk about the dusking sun setting? Which one would be a beautiful setting sun that we would love to see since sun is a star, dusking sunsets? That almost sounded like you're trying to write a poem, Ronaldo. Dusking sun, the dusking sun setting. Which one would be a beautiful setting sun? The dusk sun setting that would love to see since sun is a star.
Like a tongue twister.
The sun is a star, dusking sunsets. Are you talking about twilight, like the time period when the sun is going down? Are you talking about sunrise and sunset? I mean, yeah, we could have talked about sunrises and sunset. It is a star. The sun is a star, but we weren't talking about on Earth. But I mean, yeah, we could have talked about sunset, sunrise.
I mean, sunrise is when the sun comes up, and sunset is when the sun sets.
Yeah.
What else do you want to talk about?
Yeah, there's not much we can do about that. I've seen the green spot at sunset twice, says Old Virgin.
The green flash. The green flash.
What? That's a real thing?
You haven't heard of the green flash? I'm not talking about a superhero either.
No, please tell me before I continue with the myths. And wait,
it's like a specific instance at sunrise or sunset. I don't know if it's one specifically or just the perfect angle through the atmosphere and all that shit, where a little bit of green light gets through. And the atmosphere doesn't filter it out, and our eyes don't cancel it out with other wavelengths of light and all that shit.
So that connects to what I was saying earlier about how the sun is actually partially green. It's
prominent wavelength is blue-green, but the atmosphere and our eyes filter it out, so we see whitish yellowy.
But there's times when
also,
you can see the green. Is what
maybe the most important thing of this episode: don't look at the fucking sun.
Oh, yeah, forgot about that, guys.
Don't look at it. Look at all the other stars, not the sun.
Well, we could have talked about, eclipse, solar eclipse, I guess.
Whoops, too late, we're missed now.
No, we could have talked about solar eclipses. Yeah, try not to look at the sun. I mean, all of us have done it. Admit it, Brad, you've looked at the sun.
I totally look at the sun.
We've all done it, but we shouldn't. That's why our eyes are...
I probably need glasses now.
Yeah, I do too. Also age. But I think
age.
all of us have looked at the sun and we probably shouldn't have because, it's bad for our eyes to look directly at the sun. Please don't do it, especially during an eclipse. I don't know. Why is it more dangerous
during the day? Especially during the day, don't look at the sun.
I just avoid that by just never going outside. Okay. Yeah, you can look at the sun at night if you want.
You can look at the sun from inside a building if your building has windows. Are you lucky enough to live in a building that has windows, Series?
Shut up. Mr. Pants with his windows. Yeah, I have windows. And the sunrise comes in and it bleaches all my books, so I don't want to talk about it right now. Okay, So, ask Bruce, Ronaldo says, about the solar flare being used by an object. Bruce, oh no, you're confusing Bruce with Brad already, Ronaldo. See, Bruce, it's not my fault. Ask Bruce about the solar flare being used by an object that came in and sucked up the solar flare and then left. You mean ask Brad? Because, I don't know.
Maybe he wants you to ask Bruce about it.
Yeah, you ask Bruce about it.
I don't know of any object that consumed a solar flare.
Yeah.
That seems kind of like
some alien bullshit. Maybe some debris passed by.
Maybe
and
there
got
was
some solar flare.
Maybe a UFO came by and needed some energy and took some of our solar flare on us.
Yeah, there you go. Fuel scooped our sun.
Yeah, fuel scoop.
Take that. That's what I'm doing right now.
Supercharged with solar flare. That sounds like a metal album.
Could it have been? Ronaldo says, could it have been some sort of sun eater? No, maybe it was just for a fuel source. I've got 4 jumps to the thing.
Super Weapons episode.
The Super Weapons episode. Save it for the Super Weapons episode. I know you want Super Weapons.
I'm excited for Super Weapons. There's so many cool Super Weapons out there.
I can't wait till Gravity. Yeah, but okay. Yeah, we'll do Super Weapon. We indulged me a couple weeks in a row. It's only fair. That one, Phoenix says, shout out to the James Webb Telescope. There was so many amazing space pictures taken from it. Agreed.
Woo, JWST, let's go.
Yeah, I believe it is linked in the space pictures section of the space station part of the Discord. And there is a question waiting for you in the Discord in the Ask Brad questions.
Oh, shit.
Already, but we'll get to that after. I'm not done my myths yet. I don't know if you guys care anymore. Eclipse is the best time to look at the sun, says Old Virgin. Yeah, with the proper
it's not, really.
With the Bruce says the sun is white. Bruce, how little you know. If only you'd been here sooner, Bruce, you would know so much better. But no, you had what? Not Space Cowboy, but cowboying to do on Red Dead or something. Look, you know what? Walking in here late with your spurs on? No. Big Beautiful Bruce says, Ronaldo, I will gladly tell you that I have absolutely no fucking clue what you were talking about. I think it is what Heaven's Gate was talking about with the UFO trust. Bruce.
Who else is old enough to remember Heaven's Gate? That's hilarious.
He's not. He just has studied stuff.
Who told you?
He's too young. He's actually into history. He's actually still learning in school, and he's interested in learning stuff. He's actually kind of smart. He'll get stupid as he gets older. Don't worry. Don't be intimidated by his intelligence. It'll decline. It'll diminish. It happens to us all.
I was kidding.
His first relationship will suck it all out of him. He'll become stupid then. So enjoy being smart now, Bruce.
You don't get stupid as you get older. You get smarter because you accumulate knowledge.
Yeah, well...
Unless you elect to be stupid. A lot of people do that.
Yeah, that's true.
They just don't learn anymore, and they become stupid.
How do you explain me? I'm an enigma. I'm kind of a bit of both. Mama? What are you saying? Are you referring to Ronaldo? I don't know. Anyway, back to my myths while you guys make me try to make that. Yes. I can't read that. What is that?
Next myths.
I got myths. Okay, more myths. There was a couple left there that I can't see. Something about... Gosh, my writing is horrible. What was I doing?
Anyway, decipher the hieroglyphs later.
Yeah, okay, moving to the next page. Okay. More myths, just some last ones. Polynesian navigation star maps, waypoints in the sky. These aren't myths, these were actual things that people used.
That's history, yeah.
Star people of the Lakota, they have some stuff going on. If you're interested in looking at more, like we had mentioned when Brad said other places, other parts of the world have different names and different things, and Hindu myth of Dhrus, Dhrus, the pole star. There's a Norse story of, oh God, I can't say these things. Aurvandil's toe. I think Thor.
Thor, you gotta pronounce it.
Thor, no, or Vandals. Basically, that Norse story, I believe Thor threw the guy's toe into the sky and it became a star. I don't know. You guys are crazy. The Zuni story of the two stars, twin stars, of the twin stars. I'm sorry if I'm ruining all the things. The Legend of the Southern Cross, we already talked about that one earlier. Egyptian view of stars as guardians of the afterlife? That might be the word. Something about that. But we kind of already knew about Egyptians. I didn't know about the stars, though, that they thought of the stars being part of the afterlife thing.
Did you know about the pyramid link?
I knew about the pyramid link. But what are you talking about? Oh, pointing up to the stars? I mean, tell me. Tell me. Please expand upon these if you hear something.
The pyramids of like the major pyramids in Egypt, like the Giza pyramids and stuff like that, are lined up to be Orion's belt. They match Orion's belt.
Oh.
The
So
three
why didn't
stars
you
of
tell me
Orion's
that?
belt. Because you just mentioned it.
Well,
Right.
that's something. That's why I'm hoping you'll jump in when I mention
Was it-
something and it
was
triggers a.
Aldalam, Mintaka, and Alnalak, I think, are the names of the stars in Orion's belt. But yeah, there's three
Oh.
pyramids in Egypt that basically line up like exactly.
That's
Like
fucking
Egyptian
great.
astronomers looked up and went, "Copy that shit. That's some divine fucking providence."
Well, because they were, and if you look at this myth or belief system, it's because they believed it was for guardians of the afterlife, and they were big on the afterlife. Remember, they were really big on.
Yeah.
So that makes complete sense that they made that line up, especially
like
if they looked at the
Stonehenge.
stars.
You have Stonehenge in there?
No, it's not in there yet.
Because it's basically
Also lined up with constellations. Is that what you're saying?
it lines up with the sun rising on the solstice.
Oh yeah, that's right. Which would be a star thing.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. So it's not some like whatever. It was literally somebody going, "This is helpful. Then we can know when the solstice is." I bet you it was something as simple as that. Then we know when the solstice is. It's right now, like when the thing happens. That's kind of.
I mean, simple from our perspective, but I mean, it could have been like a divine calendar, not just for like, hey, start harvest season. Kind of like this is a very important date, but they based like religious significance around it.
Maybe.
Because hey, we don't plant crops and tend to them, we'll fucking die because we have no food.
Exactly. And so we want to make sure. Okay.
Yep.
I
That kind of
got
stuff.
that makes sense. I mean, humans are so human. Okay, eclipses. Okay, let's go on. We're not okay. Good catching up. The rock that flew through the solar system a few years ago. That's what Old Virgin was talking about. So that's what he was referring to Ronaldo. He answered Ronaldo about what went through the sun. It was a rock that flew through the solar system a few years ago. Stray Cat said, did Brainiac cause Superman's home planet star to explode? That's not part of the discussion. I don't know. I don't think so. Stonehenge is about 40 minutes drive from you, Old Virgin. Well, do you go there?
Cool.
Do you ever go there and like lay down there naked and dance or anything? Just curious. Ronaldo says, I'm actually aware of Heaven's Gate. I'm 40, probably older than you guys, says Ronaldo. Yeah, you're so much
Disputable.
older than us. Stray Cat says a Dyson sphere. Didn't we talk about Dyson sphere?
Megastructures episode.
Yeah,
It's coming.
Save that. Say that. Yeah, save that for the Mega.
If you're interested, look up was it? Look up Kardashev scale. I think it's like, is it the Krasnov
The
thruster?
website is still
I
up.
think?
That.
What's another one? The Dyson laser is a cool idea too.
There you go.
Imagine taking a Dyson sphere and turning it into a Death Star.
There you
Take that
go.
stuff that we want to shoot at.
I can tell Brad's going to be excited about that episode. Old Virgin says about Stonehenge, yes, I go there, but Avebury is more interesting. Please tell me why. And Big Beautiful Bruce says her website is still up for the guys that want to go to Halley's Comet. Heaven's Gate, yeah. Oh, ouch. That should not be up. Anyway,
Who's still paying for that? I thought they all killed
Yeah,
themselves.
exactly. Well, I guess somebody didn't, right? Somebody's like,
I'll stay behind and keep the website running.
yeah, for
Thanks.
for 30 years or whatever.
Maintain the
I don't know.
GeoCities site.
Oh my God, I miss GeoCities. I was in Soho. Anyway, okay. The Chinese star gods were Fu, Lu, and they probably still are Shua. I didn't get to write that all down properly. I apologize. But the Chinese star gods. So if you're interested in that, I mean, I bet you that's really fascinating. And remember,
I
they
think
go way back.
I think some of them. I remember looking at that
For
because I
your
did look.
story building.
Yeah, I did want to base other cultures around that kind of. Like, okay, Western society based it on the constellations that we're familiar with, and then other cultures will use.
They really have other constellations, though. How come we didn't talk about that? Why didn't we talk about other constellations? Why do we only have 88 constellations? And
you didn't
what if
ask
they have
about
different...
it. You didn't look any up, and I'm not familiar with them. So there's 3 reasons why we didn't talk about it.
That's kind of fascinating. That would be a nice follow-up in a different episode about constellations all over the world. Like, I never thought of that. I just thought we all agreed on the same constellations, and that I didn't know. Okay.
I didn't know.
Galileo. Yeah. One of the early. Okay. The Greek. Oh, Avebury is where the large stones at Stonehenge were quarried. Blue stones come from Wales, and one of the altar stones comes from the north of Scotland. I heard that, Old Virgin, a few years ago, where they were saying were from different places. Yeah. Well, that's really cool. Thank you for sharing that in the chat, Old Virgin. I appreciate you. Then there was the Greek. Oh shit, my writing. Phaeacian myth and gosh, why did I write this? And something and falling stars. So there's some Greek thing. It's always Greek.
Myth busted.
The Mayan belief in star demons. That was interesting. There's a Mayan belief in star demons. So any of these things, star demons. I'd rather believe in, like campfires and stardust and all that stuff. But yeah, I do love that we all came from stars. I mean, that we, again, I'm reading it again. I don't care how many times you guys got to hear it. We are made of stardust, hydrogen and helium. Stars made from those elements, right? Supernova spread the elements. Then we add new stars, planets, and life from that. Human body reflects the history with carbon, the backbone of life's molecules, oxygen that's in water and air, calcium in our bones, iron in our blood, all came from stars. We are stardust. Period. That was end of. I rest my case. Ronaldo said, "Is there anything that can eat a star?" Black hole. But it's not. Wait. But a black hole was a star that became a black hole. Wouldn't that be a dead star eating another star? Wouldn't that be cannibalism? Star cannibalism? Brad? What can eat a star? Is there anything that can eat a star?
Well, like black holes and...
Exactly! But isn't
like
a black hole...
probably could.
A neutron star too? But isn't a black hole...
Well, I mean, eat as far as, like, gravitationally fucking totally destroy it.
Okay. I was like, that's
enough.
cannibalism. I mean, they're all stars. Like, it's kind of weird. Yeah, there you go. I mean, of course things can be... But matter can't be destroyed. It can only be blah, blah, blah. Energy can't be destroyed. Stray Cat said...
Which is it?
I don't know. Old Virgin says, Avebury has a massive stone circle with a village in the middle. Oh, that's cool. And Stray Cat says, how many constellations can be seen in the northern hemisphere sky during June?
I'm going to ballpark it at 50.
Well, let's take a look. I can read from the sky and telescope. This week at a glance. We can go this week at a glance. Can I do that? I'm gonna tell us some stuff. I didn't do some space news this week. I'm sorry. I did catch one thing that was in a thing but this week's sky at a glance. So the 13th. Oh, that's today. It's Friday the 13th. I'm gonna read you guys this. I don't know the answer to the question, but I was just guessing. I'm not sure. If you know the answer, please share. So, closing out with some ripping it off from skyandtelescope.org, which has a magazine you can get too. Bright Arcturus. Please correct my pronunciations, Brad, when I fuck it really up. Very high toward the south these evenings, and Spica below it by about 3/5 at arm's length, form an almost perfectly equilateral triangle with dimmer denobula. Is that what it's? Leo's second magnitude tail tip off to the right. Yeah. What do you think of that?
Yeah.
All three sides of the Arcturus Spica denebula triangle are close. I'm not doing those degrees. In 1974, George Lovi named this the Spring Triangle to parallel those of summer and winter. For so fine and equilateral, the name ought to stick. But it hasn't, apparently, if they're still trying to force it. Stop trying to make Spring Triangle
I've never
a
heard
thing.
of Spring Triangle.
Exactly.
The Summer Triangle is totally different.
I know. The guy's trying to make Spring Triangle a thing. I've only got 3 jumps, so I'm just going to jump. If I want to see stars, I would just like to get high and we'll see stars this fine time clock. Well, that's not the same thing. Saturday, June 14th, as we count down the last 7 days to official summer. What? The solstice comes on the night of June 21st to 22nd. That's right, guys. We're nearly at summer, as if it matters to people who don't go outside, but it's okay. The summer triangle stands high and proud in the east after dark. Its top star is bright Vega.
Summer Triangle, woo! Actual recognized equilateral triangle. Thank you.
Deneb is the brightest star to Vega's lower left by 2 or 3/5 at arm's length. I'm not fisting the sky. Look for Altair farther to Vega's lower right. Altair shines midway in brightness between Vega and Deneb. If you have a dark enough sky, the Milky Way runs across the bottom of the summer triangle from side to side. And the Milky Way has been in myth seen as a river. Guys.
The Milky Way is real, it's not a myth. Just saying.
No, I mean it's been visualized as a river of souls and all this sort of thing. Anyway, on Sunday, June 15th, Titan will cast its shadow on Saturn. Only every 15 years does Titan, Saturn's largest moon, cross Saturn's face from Earth's viewpoint. So 15 years, meaning the next time it does this, Bruce, you'll be like an old person. So you might want to check it out. You'll be too old, so you'll probably want to like check it out now while you're young, so you can say in 15 years from now you were just
with a telescope.
Yeah. A new series of these events is underway. They will continue every 16 days until October. Wait, what? So every 15 years this will happen, but then this will keep happening for 16 days until October? What? Every 16 days? What? Titan will cast its shadow on Saturn for the first time in 15 years, and then it'll just keep doing it for every 16 days until October? Is that what I'm reading? Does that make sense? Why?
You're reading it.
Okay,
so
tonight...
Titan orbits Saturn, but because of Earth's rotation around the sun and Saturn's rotation around the sun, we can't really see it. And it's happening all the time, but we can only see it for this 16-day window every 15 years.
Every 16 days until October. So on Sunday, June 15th, tonight, the Titan's tiny shadow crosses Saturn's disk. That's from, it gives you time zones. Go to Sky and Telescope. Because Saturn is only up in view before and during local dawn, no matter where you are, this means Western North America is again favored, but Saturn may still be at too low an altitude for the seeing to be steady enough. And then there's a website called Titan Shadow Transit Season underway. I guess some people get really excited about it. Who invented the classification for stars, says Stray Cat. Brad?
I'm gonna check because I can't remember his first name. They're called Bayer designations, though.
There you go. Well, you're looking it up, so you'll be able to...
Yep. A Bayer designation is a stellar designation in which the specific star is identified by a Greek or Latin letter followed by a genitive form of its parent constellation's Latin name, like Alpha Centauri. The original list of Bayer's designations contained 1,564 stars, blah blah blah, by German astronomer Johann Bayer in 1603 in his star atlas, Eunometria.
Wait, so who did it? Johann or the other guy? Oh, Johann Bayer. Oh, that was his first name. Sorry. I'm like, so who did it? The guy or the... I have 2 jumps. I'm almost there. Okay.
Don't fly into the star.
Mars... Okay, so that was a good question. Have you looked at the Discord about that other thing for closing out? Mars and Regulus on Monday shine closest together in the west this evening. For Americas, blah blah blah. It's a great time to compare their contrasting colors in binoculars or a telescope at low power. So Leo is coming into its own. I am not okay. On paper, Mars is now essentially identical in brightness to Regulus. Their magnitudes, respectively. I'm not reading it, but several factors. Blah 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 blah. Marks are blah 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 blah. So we're down to blah blah blahs. But there you go. Tuesday, Mars and Regulus.
Research.
Yeah. Wednesday. Wednesday's the last quarter moon. If you want to see that. Why is it talking about the Terminator? Oh, by then the moon will be about half a day past last quarter, and its Terminator will be starting to look a bit concave. The Terminator always appears to move fastest across the moon's apparent face at first and last quarter. I've never heard the term Terminator in the moon. What is that about?
The Terminator is the edge of the shadow. So when you look at the moon and it's not a full moon and you see like the crescent or whatever shape it is, the edge of where the shadow starts is called the Terminator.
I never knew that. But why can I only think of the Terminator and not, like, it's terrible. Huh. That's interesting. Okay. Ronaldo said, can I still receive vitamin B from the sun reflecting off the moon? A moon tan? Sure. I don't know. That sounds... I think if the sun isn't shining, you're not going to get anything. Like if the sun isn't shining on you and you're in the dark, no. But am I stupid? I don't know.
But the only reason we see the moon is the sun's light reflecting off of it.
So then what's the answer?
And
it isn't vitamin B, isn't it D? Isn't it vitamin D you're getting?
It's vitamin D you get from the sun.
Yeah, why does the guy say B when it's D?
All the letters are right next to each other. I don't know.
Okay. So what was the answer?
To what?
To what they said. They said, can they still get a moon tan? Can they get a moon tan? Can they get vitamin D?
During exposure to sunlight, 7-dehydrocholesterol in the skin absorbs UVB radiation and it's converted to pre-vitamin D3, which in turn isomerizes into vitamin D3.
Yeah. So no, you can't do it under the moon. That's why people like me in the dark.
At this level of not very deep research, maybe the sunlight reflected off the moon isn't powerful enough to stimulate that isomerization into vitamin D3.
That makes sense. Or else
kind of like you can microwave food, but pointing a hairdryer at food doesn't really do it. Even though it's like, well, it's both hot. Like, what do you mean it doesn't work? You have to cross like an energy threshold to make shit happen.
And that fucking makes sense, because think about it, or else I wouldn't be vitamin D deficient because I stay inside all the time. Think about it. I mean, that one, I get, I like that Brad was able to explain that in a good way. If Old Virgin says, no, you can't get vitamin D from moonlight, Thank
You
you.
get vitamin M for moonlight.
Yeah, you get vitamin M. Like, even I knew the answer to that, but I get, like, I'm glad you were curious enough to ask that because, yeah, you never know, right? But, because
You
obviously the sun,
assumed that you
but
didn't.
I assume because I am vitamin D deficient because I never go outside and see the sun.
So there's nothing to do with the moon then.
It's the sun. I'm not seeing the sun.
But you don't see the moon either.
If I went outside into the moon, I'm pretty sure I'd still be vitamin D deficient. I'm just saying. I mean, I do remember the old days.
That's different than you don't get vitamin D from the moon.
I've basked in moonlight in my bedroom when the moon's gone past my window, okay? And I don't think I'm
You have to
getting
go
the
outside
D.
to bask. You have to go outside to bask.
That is untrue, sir. I would argue against that. Moonbathing was a craze back in the 90s. It's still a thing. It's still a thing. I love moonbathing. But yeah, you're right. I'm not doing it the full way, but whatever. Okay, upper left of the moon and Saturn will be the Great Square of Pegasus, a very early harbinger of fall for early risers. Wait, why are they mentioning fall on June 18th? They can go fuck themselves. We're not reading that anymore. Thursday, June 19th, comparing Hercules, globular clusters. M13 in the edge of the keystone of Hercules is famous as one of the best and brightest globular star clusters in the sky. It's now high in the east after dark, Thursday, June 19th. But part of its fame is due to its easily findable location, less known as its near twin of a great cluster in Hercules. So, guys, that'll be something for those of you guys who are space sky nerds. Friday, June 20th, it's the longest day. Mark it on your calendars. Friday, June 20th. It's the longest day and the shortest night of the year for the Northern Hemisphere. Summer begins at the solstice, 10:42 p.m., Friday, June 20th. So 10:42 p.m., you mean after our space podcast, the summer begins? Aww. It doesn't start during the space podcast. Anyway, the solstice will be Friday, June 20th this year for the Northern Hemisphere at 10:42 p.m. EDT. So there you go, guys. And Mars and Regulus will part ways. That's too bad. So there you go, guys. Vitamin D supplements are basically like using cheat codes against sunlight. That one Phoenix, I know that's what I'm using lately. Ronaldo, you're crossing a little bit of a line. That's quite a big word to use, but he says, he or she says, love you, Brad. Can you thank Brad for me? No, I refuse to tell Brad any of that. Nope. I will not thank you. Nope. And then...
When do you want me to answer about one Phoenix's question about neutron stars?
In a moment. We're almost there. Ronaldo says, also, Ono series, I want to say thank you from me and your chat. We loved spending time with you. I feel this was very successful. Thank you, Ronaldo. Thank you. Appreciate you guys being here.
Good questions today, too.
Yeah, you guys are great. And thank
the real you for stars of this episode are you guys. That's the cheesiest thing I will say tonight.
I appreciate it. You did it, and I didn't need to. Oh, God, that was great. Thank you, Brad, for saying that so I wasn't the one that said that. Oh, God. It'll mean even more because it came from you, clearly. Yeah, thank you, guys. And each episode, I mean, either they'll get better or worse depending on our week. But, oh, fuck, it's my... Oh,
maybe they'll get better and worse.
Stop. I have one stop, and I just hit the freaking sun. We're almost done.
I warned you to not fly to the sun.
I know, and yet I flew there anyway. Icarus, I'll rename her again. No, this has been wonderful, and we appreciate you guys. And the topic will be decided in the next few days, and then I have a feeling he already knows what he wants, and it will be put into the Discord. If you don't see it in the Discord, maybe I'll post it in the thing. But it's same time, Friday, 7 p.m. And Stray Cat says, I want that Brad Desk buddy. This is what I'm going to tell you, okay? We are a long way from having little buddy things, okay, guys? By the way, shout out again to Stingaman. He might not be here, but he just donated 5 more. Not donated. He bought 5 more memberships the other day, yesterday. So thank you again for the support. Yeah, we are at over I don't want to. I'm a little nervous to say it because I think it's technically only about 3 or 4 of us that like actually sign up. But we got like over 40 members now that can use the emojis in the chat. So I thank you. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the subscribers if you've hit subscribe, and I appreciate those who have been in the live chats and the lurkers who lurk and those who also watch after we're done. I mean, that's amazing. You guys have been amazing. Just so you know. It's been great that way. But what was I going to share before that all went to hell? It was, I have to do it. Look, you get to a point, you got to do it. The closest I can give you to a Brad doll, which that sounds, I'm a little weirded out. Not by you, but just the fact because, you know, it's, you know, lines, boundaries for now. But we'll see. I mean, you never know. I mean, if people want to approach us with a Brad doll, it's got to be high quality. You know what I mean? Just saying. No, it'd have to be run by Brad. Can you imagine, Brad, if you had to like consider becoming a doll? That'd be a little weird, eh? But cool. This is what we have so far in the store. I'm saying we, but I obviously have to give him a cut if you're buying any of the Brad stuff, okay? Ronaldo says, we went this whole time with you not getting hit by the gravity of those suns, and we're at the end, and you do this. Ronaldo, don't forget what's his favorite star for the end of the video. What didn't he kind of say? Another great convo, thank you. Yeah, we have one more stop because I'm about to land. You know what, though? I'm going to,
You gotta stay on while you land, though. That place looks cool.
Where I am?
Yeah, the Omega mining operation, or whatever it's called.
Okay, I got an escape factor. I really wanted to map this last place, but there's like 30 bodies. I don't want to... Yeah, I don't want to... I want to get to the end. I got a thing at 11. We were winding down. Well, oh, wait, I can do this while Brad answers the thing from the Discord.
Yep.
Perfect. So, there we go. Over to Brad while I'm on fire. Wait, I'm here. You're right, I'm here. That's why I have no route set.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, please read whatever it is.
That one Phoenix asked, hey Brad, it was a question I was wondering about a while back, but is it possible for neutron stars to die? Do they burn out or collapse into a black hole? From what I've seen online, the only way for those stars to die is via proton decay. And proton decay is basically, it lives on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and its molecules basically disintegrate because of time. From what I've read, I'm pretty sure you're right. They've already, like a neutron star is already a collapsed supermassive star, so it already kind of died. And the neutronium, which it's made of, just kind of is some weird form of degenerate matter we can't really explain, and it just stays like that until, yeah. I think it's proton decay. Pretty sure you're right.
Proton decay. So then,
it's basically like heat death on a tiny scale.
Aw, it's kind of sad.
Where it's like, even like, if you're familiar with radioactive decay, like that kind of thing, radioactive elements decay rapidly.
That's forever. Oh.
But yeah, exactly. Even non-radioactive things will eventually decay into this fissile away into lesser particles. That's what the neutron star will do. It'll just take maybe longer than the age of the universe. So, does it technically happen? I don't know. I'll see you at the end of the universe to find out. But I think you're right with what you've researched on the topic already.
It's great. Again,
it's an interesting question because it kind of pokes more about the fate of the universe, not just how the neutron stars die, but what happens to things that might outlive the universe. I think that's kind of a crazy question in itself.
Whoa, that is kind of cool, because what would happen if things outlive the universe?
I mean, Douglas Adams had a restaurant there, but I don't remember what happened after it.
Hitchhiker's Guide. No, but for real though, what can that be possible that things could outlive the universe?
Well, it's more like the time frame for that happening, like black holes evaporating, for example. or like the science points that it'll take so long the universe won't exist. So what happens to them?
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
It's not like, you know, actors
It's
in a
not like
movie where
everything
they're
goes
in a film
poof.
and they're like, all right, well, I'm gonna go back to my trailer. It's like the whole universe doesn't exist because of, you know, the big rip or the big crunch, or it collapses into a new big bang and makes a new universe. Does the neutron stars and stuff get recycled, or do they just get destroyed? I don't know. Do they get pulled into a different part of the of a multiverse? We have no idea.
Interesting. That is an interesting question. Who is that from again? FM?
Hmm?
What's the name again?
That one, Phoenix.
That one, Phoenix. Oh, that one, Phoenix is the person who put the question in the Discord? Is it the same name, or?
That one, sure. Phoenix. What is their name?
Oh, well, wonderful. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, that was a good question.
That was a good question. I have a question. Where do I go? Which base is the base?
If you look at your left panel.
There's so many blue things. Oh, that one, Phoenix, that was you. Yeah, thank you, one, Phoenix. I'm going to catch up with the chat. I'm right here. I'm freaking out because I don't know where to go.
It's called Omega Mining Colony or something.
Oh, no. Will I be able to dock, like, without... There's a Colonia Bridge. There's a Colonia Bridge.
Colonia Bridge is a ship.
Can I just go there?
I'm going to say no, because I think you should look at the mining operation. That was the whole point of going there.
Oh, I'm looking, but I don't... Omega Mining Operation. Okay, there's two. There's Omega Mining Operation.
The icon looks like an asteroid, not
a briefcase?
Okay. Yeah, the briefcase is the
we're about to...
It's like a beacon outside. It's like, hey, scan me and I'll give you... like an info... It's like a fucking info kiosk. So it's kind of interesting, because that's not where you want to go.
It's been a long time since I've landed somewhere, guys, so hold up. Okay, I'm catching up.
I mean, it has auto dock, so don't shut off your docking computer. You're fine.
Good. Catching
or maybe
up.
It's damaged. Maybe the 7% damage to your hull is your landing computer.
I'm at 93%, actually. That's the lowest I've been in a long time. Another great convo. Thank you. Thank you, Old Virgin, as well, for being here. Everybody for being here. Ronaldo, I want to put it on a rocket. Another song to ruin. Mission Control to Tom. Yeah, Major Tom, Rocket Man. Yeah, I already ruined it the other day with ChatGPT. Don't worry about it. Ronaldo said, for another show, how can we talk about the different stages of evolution, how we are not even close to Dyson spheres? And what's a Dyson spheres and a solar sail? Ronaldo, we talked about Dyson spheres and solar sails in an older episode. You've done missed things. I would take a peek.
Scale is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I would. Which episode was that? What, like, you know what? Maybe you're right. I have to go back and do chapters or something that, like, go in it. But there's a. I'm gonna link the playlist. This playlist. Look at the titles yourself. I'm like, do the work yourself. But like, I honestly can't remember right now. Yeah, I do. I don't
remember the topic that we touched on that.
Yeah, so
it might have been the third, like, colonization episode.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pin...
The colonization episodes were kind of like, this is, you know, the first one was the next 200 years. The second one was kind of like, okay, well, now that we've colonized the entire solar system, how do we get to the next star system and kind of expand, like a human empire, so to speak? And the third one was like, beyond, like, kind of Star Wars levels of technology.
Yeah,
like potentially leaving the galaxy and other stuff.
So I've linked the playlist, and it's now pinned to the top. So I would get that, Ronaldo, and put it in and take a glance through it. I think what's happened to our episodes as well, or to most of my broadcasts, is that they do get what's that word? They're automatically like subtitle. You know, where they put the words underneath, like where you can read what. Not only the live chat, but where you can read
subtitles?
Transcriptions. There's transcriptions, I think, automatically made on some of the videos. I think there might be for that, so that's another way you could search. Ooh, I'm nervous. Okay, I can do this. Now I kind of want. I'm flashbacking to No Man's Sky. I'm wanting to shoot all the asteroids for minerals. I'm gotta catch up. Old Virgin said neutron stars are made when electrons are forced into protons, creating neutrons. They will eventually stop glowing and won't be seen. And that one Phoenix says, "Hi, yeah, that's me. Thanks for the answer too. Yeah, no, thank you for putting the question in there. That's exactly what I was hoping would happen. That or comments on the chat, comments on the videos. But in that's why I made the Ask Brad section for you guys to ask or remark on things. I really appreciate that you did that because I think it's great.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. And anybody's
What
welcome
about
to
if they
do
have
that.
questions? What about if they have questions that may not be related to the stream we had, and it's not during stream time?
They can do that in that section
it's
too. The
Tuesday
Ask
morning.
Brad
You're like,
chat.
hey,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah. If you've got space questions, science, physics, science, space questions, or either pertaining to our old episodes or a tangent because of
If you
listening
have
to these
nerdy questions,
episodes,
throw them in there.
yeah, throw them in there. So just join the Discord, and go to the space station section and ask in the Ask Brad. I should just retitle Ask Brad GPT, actually. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna retitle it Ask Brad GPT, okay? And I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Ronaldo said, "Is there tidal locked stars?" We're wrapping up, but is there tidal locked stars? Ooh, I'm missing on the best part. Oh, I missed it all. It's so beautiful. Oh, I missed it all, guys.
Yeah, you gotta go to camera mode for that for sure.
Ah, shit. And I'm going to 42, the answer to the universe and everything. I'm landing on 42. That's fucking crazy, guys. If you know Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I was in one of these with you before, Brad. It's been a million years, but remember that time that we landed inside a meteor?
The asteroid stations are cool.
Yeah. This is what it looks like in Elite Dangerous on the console, guys. And yeah, you can go into camera mode and, like this. Those are NPC ships. Yeah. And again, we'll talk about stuff like that.
So Ronaldo asked if stars can be tidally locked?
Yeah.
I think so, but I think it would matter a lot less. Like, if a planet's tidally locked, that's like one part of the planet is facing the sun at all times. But you're on that planet, it's either you're basically melting or you're freezing because you never see the sun. But, like, if another sun does that, it wouldn't really give a shit as much. Maybe if it's, say, a cool, like an M-class star orbiting an O-class star, and it's like way hot. The main star is way hotter, and it's kind of like boiling one side. It would literally evaporate some of that star. I think they've seen observances of that where it's kind of like they see kind of like how a comet leaves a tail behind it when it goes close to the sun because the ice in the comet is melting, leaving a trail of vapor behind it. The cooler star would literally be evaporated by the hot star that it's orbiting, and it would leave like a trail of boiling star matter behind it. Would be a good place to be. I would not want to be a boiled sun.
Who would? I'm about to hand in my cartographics. Do you want to know what I'm starting
But if it rotates, it would kind of, kind of space the heat out a little bit. But yeah, if it was tidally locked, it would totally boil it away if there was a big temperature difference, I think.
Old Virgin.
Yes. Oh. Screenshot your before and after so you can figure out how many you handed in.
Okay. And Old Virgin says, no stars are not tidally locked. And Ronaldo says, regarding me, going, blah, blah, blah about the episodes, Ronaldo says, because I'm new to the community, I only ran into your channel yesterday for Helldivers. No, it's good. Welcome to the community, and welcome to the Space Podcast part of the community on the channel. And thank you, Brad, for being great. Thanks for stealing all my shine. Yeah, thanks for taking all my shine. No, I knew you would. And we are done, Ronaldo, but I will throw this question at Brad. How is snow blindness caused by stars, and how did the indigenous people, how were they able to deal with it?
Snow blindness?
Caused by stars?
Well, I mean, that's due to albedo, because white material has high albedo, which is the reflectivity of light off of it. And I believe indigenous cultures made snow goggles, which is either wood or bone with very narrow slits cut in them that was kind of like sunglasses.
There you go. There you go. So there you go. There will be no further questions.
No further questions.
I am selling my cartographics before I end the stream. But if so say your sweet nothings. But I'm selling my cartographics. I'm making my coin right now. And then I guess we're not going to do it this episode, but Brad's probably going to, I'll show, well, he knows where I'm at. He's going to probably plot my next plotting thing, but not right now because I got to go. Oh,
Yeah.
look, I've earned accolades. It's wonderful.
Huh?
Well, I'm handing in my cartographics and it's giving me, congratulations,
Yep.
It's
You
telling me
discovered
good,
this ball of dirt in space.
yeah, it's telling me good job, and I like that. I don't know if I was able to do that, so I got to check back again and make sure. I sometimes, because this is in the same system, I can't hand that in. So that's okay.
Nope.
That's okay. So I'll share. I think I made a good coin. And there we go. I am here. This is where I am. My transactions. Can I hand in my data point? Where do I do that? Bounty claims.
I honestly can't remember what the name of
I've had a hard time with
area is to find that
contacts,
person.
authorities.
Plus, they might not have like a representative at that station to hand them in to.
Yeah, it's not letting me hand in anything, which is too bad because I don't know what I'm doing with this thing.
From McDonald's. Like, sir, this is a Wendy's.
Yeah, basically, my data point intel for Alliance.
We don't do that here.
Where do I do that? Back in the bubble? My CR data point. Okay, I got a long way to go then. So I'll just hold on to that. Okay, guys, thank you for that. By the way, where Brad is, if you want to know, it's none of your business. I'm just kidding. He's there. We're far away. He's 21,668.20 light years away from me. Okay, so that's what I came here for. We enjoyed the stream, says Ronaldo, one of my favorite shows on YouTube. Oh, we're a show now, Brad. We're a show. We're a show.
We made it. We made it.
We became a show on YouTube. Oh no, Sirius, you shine so bright today. Oh, you flatter me, but we all know you just want that Brad doll. I got that though. Bye, chat. Thank you again, guys. No, thank you everyone for being here.
Bye, everybody. Have a good week.
That's our goodbye. Yeah. I gotta go. My planet needs me. It's better when you say it. You say it. Please. Can you say it before we go?
I have to go now. My planet needs me.